Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. What's good with you? It's your boy JB here on a Wednesday, y'all, and I'm joined here by Old Man Mob and also in the Zoe. And so you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves.
How
What
we
up?
doing tonight? Go ahead, Enzo.
Oh, go ahead, old man.
What's up, old? How everybody doing? Is the old man Mob? You can follow me
You can
on
go
Twitter
ahead,
at
old
the old
man.
man Mob.
All right. Zoe, might have a little audio issue maybe. But appreciate you guys for coming through here. I see that Samuel posted this around 3 o'clock Eastern time there, saying like and subscribe on that button. So I appreciate that there, Samuel. We got Lefty calling us out, saying that we're late here, but the crew is back. What's good with you, Lefty? How are you feeling? How are you feeling? So much has happened, since the last time all three of us have connected here. But of course, Zoe, gotta get your thoughts here on your boy Danny Dimes choosing the purple and gold. Now, I heard that it came down to, he was thinking about, he took some consideration for the San Francisco 49ers. He just told the Raiders flat out, no, I can't blame him for that. I would have did the same thing considering that they're a mess and stuff like that. But how did you feel when you saw your boy Danny chose the Minnesota Vikings to finish out this season with?
I don't really, I ain't really take nothing of it because I think he on the practice squad. So ain't like
Yeah,
he on a 53-man roster or nothing like that. He gonna play.
well,
So
I mean, you
I
know
ain't
how
take
that
nothing
goes,
from him.
though. Zoe's like, nah, he's not on
Yeah,
that
I
roster
ain't
there.
really take
So,
nothing from him.
okay, bet.
Yeah, I
Let's
don't.
see. Lefty says
He ain't gonna
that
play this year for us. So
Lefty says he can stay on the practice squad, and so, but it just goes to show. It just
for
goes to show
real.
that for a journeyman like a Daniel Jones to want to go to Minnesota, that means that, from the player's perspective, they like what they see that's happening down there in Minnesota, and they believe that it's a place that can help them rehab their career. And obviously, it's not going to show up anything this year, if we're being realistic there. It's not anything that like that's going to help you guys for this season, but for him and his personal development, he believes the Minnesota Vikings give him the best chance to improve as a player. And after, having what he's had in New York the last couple since he's been in the league, he wants some stability. So that's what that tells me in that
Yeah,
signing, is that he views the Vikings as an organization that got it together, essentially. Let's
yeah, I
see.
feel him on that one.
Samuel says, how you feeling today, Zoe? Are you feeling better?
Yeah, I'm feeling straight. Samuel, good looking.
Let's see. Lefty says, if I see him on game day, I'm gonna fire beer cans. So hey, I feel you there, Lefty. I feel you there. Yeah, there's no reason
You
for that
might.
to be the case.
You actually
Right.
might see Danny Dimes out there for you.
I mean, in the ideal situation there, perhaps if it's a game where, Vikings already clinched things late in the year, we're talking last game of the season, and if they want to just throw him in there just to, I guess,
Oh,
give him a
yeah.
look, a situation like that, yeah, but certainly not a meaningful game at
Yeah.
all.
Nah.
Let's see. Lefty says half full. Let's not get crazy. You say beers are $11 at the game, and so he's got a point. He's got a point.
Yeah,
We've got
yeah.
Angel
Nah.
as well. Shout out to
Andrew, what's the
Angel.
deal?
Yes. And so we'll go ahead now and switch gears to college football. We got to look at our picks and see where everybody stands for college football. So let me go ahead and share my screen, see where everybody's standing right now. Feels like each and every week JB's lead just gets smaller and smaller when it comes to college football. So, all right, let's see. All right, so here's the current standings here, and we're down to week 13. You know what that means, rivalry week. There are a lot of big time matchups across the board there, and we'll touch into the rankings in a little bit here. But just looking at our picks in the standings right now, so I'm over old man by just one game. So that means your boy had a terrible week this week, and old man's catching up. Now we all know that Curtis, he may have 62 wins, but you look at the difference in the losses there. If he had the same amount of games that we had, Curtis would be way in first place. So I shouldn't even
I'm
say
about to
first place there. So
I'm about to start cheating off him.
And then we've got Zoe with a 45 and 44 record there. So not sure your overall record there. If you have that number, do let us know.
Did he get his picks in for last week?
I think I
Ah,
did.
you
If
know
you
what?
did,
Let's
then whatever it
check
is,
and
you got to
see.
add 10 points.
Let's look and see if he got his in there for last. Up, they didn't save
He's three
anything.
behind. They
Oh
didn't
no.
update.
So yeah, they did him dirty this week. Well, last week. So, and as Samuel says, happy Thanksgiving, y'all. And so, yes, happy early
Same to you.
Thanksgiving. Absolutely. All right, but let's go ahead and look at everybody else's last week and let's see what Curtis did. I mean, look at that win percentage. That's what JB needs. All right, so it starts with Sam Houston State. Wrong. Got Ohio State correct. Liberty. All right, Arizona State over BYU. Kansas. Hey, how about Kansas, y'all? Like Kansas waited to like towards the middle to the end part of the season to start playing like a team in
Mm.
which, in all honesty, if they could have played that way all year, like was expected of them, they could have really been a force, but they figured it out late. But 4-6, we'll see if they can win out and what qualify for a bowl. We'll see. Let's see. A&M lost to Auburn. I didn't see that one coming either. There's no way you could have told me that Auburn's going to drop 43 points. I would not have believed that, especially against A&M's defense. I would not have thought that. But somehow, some way, they went out there and dropped 43. Now Iowa State, Marshall. Let's see. Eric, both Erics. What's good? What's good? Let's see. Colorado. All right about USC. And was 7 away from the Indiana and Ohio State
Now.
Final Four. So hey, he's been on it. He's been. And what was the overall record this week for Curtis? That was 7-3. Seven
Mm.
and three. That's what I need. Something like that. Now let's see what old man did this week. Old man also went 7-3. Dang, it was just
Damn.
JB that didn't do it, I guess. All right, and he got Jacksonville State correct. All right, chose Ohio State, Liberty, Arizona State. Okay, missed on the Colorado one. A&M, Utah. All right, got Marshall correct. Fresno State, USC. All right, and a little off there. Didn't expect as many points there for that Ohio State and Indiana game. I feel
Oh,
you.
and then
Oh man, but 7-3 though. That's shoot. And then
That
you
shit
got
still
poor JB with a modest 5-5. And so I got Jacksonville State correct, Ohio State, Liberty, missed on BYU, Colorado. I did give consideration to Kansas, but overall went with Colorado. A&M wrong. Got Iowa State correct, Marshall correct, missed on Colorado State, missed on UCLA. Thought that was going to be the upset this week. Didn't happen. And didn't put enough points for Ohio State and Indiana. So terrible week, terrible week.
I need you
Let's
to have
see.
another week like that, JB. Have another week.
Nah, nope, nope, nope. Those weeks are done right there for JB. So now it's time to get our upcoming picks for this upcoming week here. What does it mean I'm a little too early?
they say you too
All right, there we
early.
go.
Yeah, it's telling me I'm too early. What the? All
Yeah, I had to click it again here. I was like, wait, what?
right, there we go.
Okay. All right. So first matchup on the board. Meanwhile, Eric says I'm well, JB. Just having a much calmer week. We were the bomb cyclones area last week. Bomb cyclone area. So oh man, Eric. All right. So Clemson versus South Carolina. Now that's going to be an interesting matchup there. I'll go first with this one here, considering the week I just had. I think I deserve to go first here, but I gotta say, I know what Clemson's got in that physical running back that they've got. He's pretty big, but I believe in that South Carolina's front four that they'll be able to get after him, and they're a pretty physical team, so they'll be able to shut down what Clemson does best. And ultimately, I feel like that's going to be enough for South Carolina to win that matchup. They're playing pretty good football there. So, Zoe, we'll turn it over to you.
Oh man, my shit ain't even working. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna go with South Carolina.
Okay, okay, bet, bet, bet. Ode, are you going to go against the grain here?
Now I'm going with the Gamecocks.
All right, Ode said we're not fit to get him this week.
Uh,
All right. All right, so next up, and we'll go with old man first on this one, Kansas versus Baylor.
Give me Kansas. I'll take the Seahawks. I like what they did last week. I think they're gonna win 2 in a row.
Okay, okay. Zoe?
yeah, I'm gonna go with Kansas too.
Okay. Zoe says he's rocking with the people. I mean, after seeing some of the big W's that Kansas has put up as of late, just ignore everything you saw the first couple games here. They have been legitimate the last couple weeks. They've been upsetting teams left and right. So I think that does continue here this week. And I've got Kansas winning this week also. All right, Zoe, man of the people. Texas Tech versus West Virginia. Who you got?
Man, I'm gonna go with Texas Tech.
All right, gonna
I
go
want to
with
say West Virginia though. I'm gonna go with the home team.
okay, okay. Okay, gave it some consideration there. And so, oh man, we got 80s coming through to get us started here, talking about the day before Thanksgiving. What's good with your 80s? And he says, Zone, tell that chump JB if he keeps blocking Saquon Barkley for MVP, I'm gonna introduce him to Rocky and Apollo for you youngsters. That's left and right hooks. Oh man,
Get
80s,
them,
don't do it
80s.
to
Get them.
JB. Don't do it to JB.
Let them know, 80s.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean, Saquon, he bring up a good point there, and I know we are on the college thing there, but man, I mean, it feels like Saquon is running away with that MVP discussion. I mean, you could say, what Lamar's doing as well, because what he got, like 30 touchdowns and 3 interceptions and stuff. But I truly feel like as of late, that momentum has been with Saquon. You go out there and you run for 255 yards rushing and all those touchdowns. I mean, how could you not be, right? How could you not be? Absolutely. All right. So I'll go next though with this one. So I'm gonna go
No.
ahead and say at home here, Texas Tech. I just can't put my faith in West Virginia. They have their moments, they do, but I I can't take that risk there. All right, JB's got to win, so I'm going with Texas Tech here. Ode.
I'm going with the home team. I didn't. I'll take the easy way out.
All right. I thought you were gonna go against the grain here.
Nah, I was thinking about it.
You said nah.
All right. So next we've got Kentucky versus the Louisville Cardinals here. So when I think Kentucky, I think of the games they have. I know I see a 4-7 record here, but they're definitely better than 4-7. That's for sure. Like they obviously in the SEC, they're tested week to week. Whereas Cardinals, I don't know if I can say that. There's been some games where, yeah, they might have a 7-4 record, but what I'm saying is that I feel like this is a lot more even than the records indicate. I feel I feel like for this game right here, and I want to take Kentucky here, and I'm gonna take Kentucky. I'm gonna take Kentucky here because I've got a strong feeling that their record is deceptive and that they're gonna find a way to beat the Cardinals. As Kentucky's tested, they're tried, they're true. So I'm gonna go with Kentucky in this one. Old man.
I'm going with the Cardinals. And
Old
thank you
man's
for
like,
taking. That's right. I'm going with the Cardinals. I've been on the Cardinals train for the NFL. I'm gonna believe in their college team.
okay, so just the Cardinal thing. All right, Zoe.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cardinals too, man. The Kentucky Wildcats done packed it up a long time, man.
All
You-
right, well, we're gonna see if this week. Last week I ignored that gut feeling. This week I'm gonna rock with it. All right, so let's see. 80 says college. You say AI would say practice the same way as college. College? And so, oh man. All right, so moving on. So Notre Dame versus USC. And so we'll give Zoe the pleasure
That's
of
really
going first with this pick.
oh, this is a good one right here. I gotta go with I'm gonna go with USC at the crib.
Okay, okay. Gonna rock with the Trojans here. Okay, I like it. I
Uh,
like it. All right, old man, you gonna follow Zoe?
Nah, I'm taking the Irishman. Give him the fighting.
Okay, okay. Well, I am going to also take Notre Dame here. And you guys know I say this and I say that about Notre Dame, but USC's got some real problems going on. Like that's why they benched their quarterback and stuff.
Oh
It's
yeah, I'm
just,
about
I
to
feel
say.
like the defense that Notre Dame does bring to the table there, I trust them against USC. So I'm going Notre Dame here. All right. So next up, Jacksonville State versus Western Kentucky. And of course, we got to go with old man first on this one. Of course.
Gi- Give me the Gamecocks all the way.
Okay, okay. Going with Jacksonville State. I'll go next. And I too am gonna rock with Jacksonville State. It worked out for us last week. It'll work out again. But Zoe, who you got?
I'm gonna go with the Gamecocks too. Shit,
All right, bet, bet. So we're all going Jacksonville State. All right,
go with
so
the people.
I'll go first with this one. So App State versus Georgia Southern. I remember a time where App State used to be in these situations the guaranteed team, but those times have definitely passed us
Ooh, that's
by.
long. That's long time ago, JB.
Those times have passed us by. So
Ooh,
definitely gonna
pass
rock
the
with Georgia
by.
Southern at home. So it's not like it used to be. So I got Georgia Southern there. So I'll let Zoe go next.
I'm gonna go with yeah. I gotta go with the home team, man. I can't play with the Mountaineer.
Okay, okay. Old?
Going with the Eagles. Like you said, the Mountaineers time is gone. It's been gone.
It is.
I feel bad for that fan base. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I do happen to know a couple people that actually went to school at Appalachian State, and so I know how passionate they were about their team, in all honesty. But here's a big time matchup here. So we've got the Texas Longhorns versus Texas A&M, and so Zoe, we'll let you go first with this one here. A&M versus Texas. What do you think is going to happen in this one?
I'm going with the Longhorn.
All right, going to rock with the Longhorns
Yeah,
here.
man.
Okay,
I like them a little bit better.
okay, okay. So just a little bit though, just a little
Yeah,
bit.
just a little bit better.
Okay, okay.
I
Old
like
man.
that
Give
quarterback.
me, give me Texas A&M. Going with the
Okay.
home team.
Okay, okay. All right. So I like that. I like that, So this makes it a lot easier for JB here. I'm rocking with Texas here. Give me that one there.
Ugh.
Um, I did consider A&M, but when you took A&M, I was like, bingo. That's an indication I need to go ahead
So you're
and take
just
Texas
waiting to
here.
see who I picked, huh?
No, I was prepared to go
Yeah, I
A&M
prepared
if need
nothing.
be, but I like Texas better. So yes. All right, so we got Kansas State versus Iowa State here. I'll go first with this one. So Iowa State, they're always up and down. Like in terms of like when you least expect them to lose, that's typically when they lose. But at the same time, Kansas State has really disappointed me as of late. Every time I've chosen them lately, they have lost. So in two teams that just haven't shown me the type of consistency in big games, I'm gonna lean with the home team here and choose Iowa State to win this one. But Ode, what do you think?
I'm going with Kansas. This is the one game wherever you pick, I wasn't picking. So it worked out
Okay,
for me
okay,
last week. I'm hoping it works out this week.
okay. Zoe, who we got?
I'm going with the home team.
All right. Zoe says, when in doubt, go with the home team.
Go, you better believe it.
All right, we'll let Zoe go first with this one here. Two teams with
Uh,
identical records, Marshall versus James Madison.
man, I'm going with Marshall.
Okay, gonna rock with Marshall.
Man,
Okay, the man.
Randy Moss went there. I'm going with Marshall.
Okay,
They ain't got
okay.
Randy Moss though.
I was
Oh
about to
God
say, man.
damn.
All right. Well, I got to go with James Madison there. I'm surprised that a man that reps the purple and gold didn't choose the team that has purple there. I'm
Nah.
going James Madison. Give me that.
Mm-mm.
Oh, old man.
I made fun of him in the zone, but I'm taking Marshall too.
Okay. Okay. Oh, y'all got JB a little nervous now because last week JB did go 5-5. So I
You
hope
about to
I'm
go
right.
5-5 again?
No. So how many total points do we have scored for Texas versus Texas A&M? That is the question. How many points do we have? So let me get a little calculator here and see. Let's see. Because what I think the score is going to be. All right. So I'm thinking 44 points.
That's what I got 44.
'Cause
That's crazy.
I think 27-17 is a good final score. So 44.
That's what I wrote down. That's crazy.
Old man, what you thinking?
I got 45, 20.
Damn.
I got
Oh man.
I got 24 to 21.
Okay, okay. So we basically all in that same range there. Now watch they end up scoring like 50 something points.
You ain't
Oh
lying.
yeah. Or they don't make come close. They'd be like all field goals or something now.
Hmm. All right, so that concludes the college picks here. So we got that one out the way. So let's go ahead and pivot over and look at the college football playoff rankings here. So give me 1 second to pull that up.
Hey, hold on. Y'all ain't talking about Michigan with the big news or nothing.
What
I
news?
mean, you
What
talking about y'all
news?
with the transfer and stuff that y'all got?
Yeah, you know.
Oh, you
Hey,
about time. What you got a QB finally?
Yeah, Bryce Underwoods.
Oh,
that's
I know,
right.
but he ain't playing this year.
It don't matter. This year over with.
No, I feel like I
That's all
did
I
mention
wanted to
that.
hear. That's all I wanted to hear.
I did. I feel like I did mention that on one of our
Last week,
previous ones. Was it last week that I did that? Yeah, I did
Friday, I
mention that.
think it was. Yeah, we
So
bought a Friday, I believe.
yeah, yeah, because I
He,
had it written on my notes to go over that last week. So
yeah,
you
that
you
boy in the
missed it.
feet.
So
He done big flip on the LSU boy.
Oh,
he
he's
did.
nasty. He's good too. I've been trying to tell people about him, and they keep telling me I'm crazy. I said, watch.
Yeah,
I said they're gonna. He's going to Michigan. I even said, watch him
Hmm.
go to Michigan. They like, no, 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 he ain't transferring. Oh yeah,
yeah. We got that.
Michigan next year is gonna be
We got
dangerous.
that. We got that big NIL money over here.
Dude, he's
Hmm.
nice. I'm trying to tell you.
Oh yeah, he's nice now. He's nice. He's
Maybe,
nice.
maybe y'all gonna learn a thing or two after we play y'all.
I wouldn't go that far now. Come
Come
on
Uh,
on
now.
now. Come
What's
on
your
He's
now.
nice.
quarterback
He
name?
won't play
What's your
any
quarterback name? Will
rotation.
Howard?
All
Yeah,
right,
Will
he's a
Howard.
bum. He won't be here next year. He won't be here next year. Don't. And hopefully they ain't here next year either.
We'll see how the season plays out. But
I hope somebody's stupid enough to offer him a head coaching job somewhere else. NFL, any team other than New England. I don't want him nowhere near New England.
all right, let's see. All right, so here's where things stand right now. So see a couple of Big Ten teams there towards the top. You got Oregon still, Ohio State, Texas,
I don't feel
Penn
good.
State. So Notre Dame. So you look at that
I'm gonna
top
call your
like
fucking
four or
mama.
five, they pretty much stayed the same from the previous week, looking at that top four specifically. And then you have your Notre Dames there, your Miami, and then things get a little interesting there after that. Obviously, Georgia atop the two lost teams there, Tennessee. So looking at the top eight, you guys can see this pretty good, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, looking at the top, I'll even put top nine up there. What stands out to you in terms of just obviously at this point here, who's that team that you're like, if we can avoid this team, I prefer, we avoid this team. And if you don't have a team that's in the race there, just this team is dangerous, like really dangerous right now, in spite of their record.
for me, it'd be Miami. I don't like the matchup between Miami and Buckeyes at all.
Yeah,
Oh man,
Cause
I
a
don't really.
day, I don't trust them. It'd be a trap game, and then they head. Oh, it's a trap game, and we'll lose.
you
I'm
know what?
telling you.
Now that you
Tell me
mention
I'm
it,
wrong. That's what they does. These games we supposed to win, we lose because he considers them trap game.
they are
Cause it,
built specifically to how their offense is ran to where Cam Ward's going to be able to take advantage of that secondary. Like our defense is good
yeah,
enough to where if a team's not heavy passing and stuff like that, like we can do great. But if they're a heavy passer, that's the weakness. So now
that's
that you
Cam.
mention it, that
Come on now,
that's all
tell me I'm
Miami does.
wrong. Think
But I,
about it. Our,
but
our
the fact,
corners haven't been playing good, and I'm telling you now, they, I can't stand it. For some reason, games we supposed to win like this, we lose.
okay, okay, Zoe,
I can't really say no team for real.
Zoe, Zoe's like we don't deserve a champion this year. He don't see Michigan up there. We don't deserve a
Yeah,
champion.
yeah. I don't know who's. No, I'm just saying. I don't know who somebody should avoid.
I
Shit, no,
mean,
I don't. I don't. I can't
I mean,
really see.
looking at Georgia at 9-2,
I
do you
ain't.
think of them as Georgia of the past, or you're past that ship? It's
I'm
like,
past that shit. Carson Beck. Anybody they can get got any given day on any given day.
I mean, that's everybody in college football though. Like
Done
someone
what,
has to be
bud?
at the top. Someone's got to be at the top,
Shit, you
and
see who
so
at the top? Oregon. Shit.
we'll see if that continues to be the case though. Last time I checked, did Oregon not almost lose to Wisconsin? Like Wisconsin almost took them out.
Who they play
Same
this
with
week?
Penn State. Oregon plays Washington. They
Oh,
play
okay.
Washington. So because it's rivalry week, so they play Washington, in which Washington beat them twice last year, but clearly this ain't the same Washington team as the year before.
Right.
So I know that they're looking for that payback. It's a lot of teams at the top looking for payback this week, and they're going to get it. So
Look at you. I don't
just
know.
saying.
This might not be the year of payback, man.
It's gonna be payback. It's just ain't gonna be the way I want it to be and stuff like that. Like it's not gonna be one of those, like just a thrashing like it was looking like it was gonna be at the beginning of the season. It's not gonna be like that. It's gonna be one of those games where I'm gonna have to sweat a little bit. Second quarter, people gonna be in the chat, talking about, hey JB, what's happening? Y'all for to lose again and stuff like that. Every time you stream
Mhm.
Michigan, this happening, and it's not gonna be
I
until
w-
fourth quarter
keep
where
it
we
real with you,
finally.
JB. I wouldn't be shocked if we lost.
And so, well, I ain't gonna go that far now. It's gonna be a scare. It's gonna be a scare. Prepare yourself here and listen to JB words. At first, it's not gonna be pretty because they still can come out, still run the ball effectively, and we still show that we got a tendency to do some stupid defenses and stuff like that. We just don't do it all 4 quarters anymore. But there's gonna be about a quarter and a half where we're gonna look very, very susceptible. And Michigan knows that. They don't fear us. They have no reason to fear us, and they're going to be as motivated as they've been throughout any game that they've played this season. And they're
It's
playing much
basically
better. They're
it's
playing much
basically their
better.
championship game right now against us. They
hmm Yeah, you
remember all I
saw.
gotta say is look who our quarterback is and look who our head coach is.
Yeah, you saw how they did against Indiana. Because I watched that game when they played Indiana. They very well, if they had a little bit more from like the quarterback spot, could have won that one, but they
Yeah.
didn't. And so for us, it'll be the fact that they don't have that quarterback, this year that's going to make the difference. But it's still going to be one heck of a game here. It's just going to be one of those things that's just testing JB nerves until the final 5 minutes of the game, where I can finally be like, okay, start smiling there and be like, all right, we're about to go ahead and do this. So, but that aside, though, that aside, I mean, I guess for me, I need to see Texas in a big game again because they disappointed me when how they lost to. Well, it was UGA that they lost to, right?
Yes.
It was in the fashion of how lost they look offensively in that game. Like that right there, you haven't heard JB vouch for Texas since. You look at the film of when we've been doing this before that game and after that game. Texas has not even come close in JB's mouth in terms of just what they could be. So they're going to show me in a similar type of game in which, hey, SEC championship, would they not get a rematch against a Georgia in that scenario to where they can show how much they've improved? So we'll see. We'll see. But I tell you what, though, who doesn't have to worry about that? All Notre Dame's got to do go out there and beat USC. Is that their last game of the season? Oh, because obviously they don't have no conference game. So is this the final one, or do they have somebody else after this? If you
I
happen to know
believe
that.
I believe it's the last one. I'm not sure.
So basically, for them, this is you win and you're automatically in that playoffs. Now, if USC were to upset them, then that's probably the only way. And even then, two losses, how far will they really fall? Honestly, the committee has shown throughout years that Notre Dame does not get penalized a lot for losing because they just don't. But so yeah, that's one thing right there to consider. One win and they're in. Let's scroll down a little bit here. So we'll look at 10 through 19. So you've got Indiana. Everybody was wondering how far will Indiana fall with a loss? Well, they're number 10 because they still at the end of the day have one loss. You've got Boise State. They're number 11. They're 10-1. They keep playing these schools that I'm just watching, and I'm like, all right, like, I'm not gonna call San Jose State out, but at the same time, nobody else in the Power Five is playing those schools, honestly. But this is the teams that Boise State obviously you play who you play, right? You play who you
Yeah.
play, and we know that they have an elite running back. So especially if you're a team that you're kind of iffy against the run, look out. They might be able to run over you. They
Oh
might just
yeah.
be able to do that. And then you've got Clemson, you've got Bama at 13. So with three losses there, Bama's at 13. Ole Miss, I could have cried for Ole Miss. I could have cried for them because they know how bad that loss was for them. Lane Kiffin been waiting for a moment, and you had a chance. They expanded it to 12 teams, and you went out there and you fumbled the ball to Florida like that. I mean, that was a program like huge loss for them because they had their chance to finally be like, okay, Bama's not in our way, and then they just fumbled the ball like that. So
Yeah.
now South Carolina, if they had one less loss, that'd be an entirely different conversation there. So
They
you've
got
got
that nasty wide receiver duo, don't they?
they
South
do
Carolina. They got
they
that
do.
one dude. He's 6'5" or 6'4" and can run like quick as hell.
Mm.
He's the guy that has 99 speed on college football. They got him on there.
Oh wow, oh wow. Let's see. You've got Arizona State, and if you'd have told me coming into the season, Arizona State is a team that would be buying for a college football playoff spot, I probably would have told you that you're hungover at this point, because
I would have taken you. I would
ain't
have
no
taken the
way.
bet. I would have said, "Give me your money now."
Yes, but 80's coming through with another super, and he says, Zone, I hope you're feeling better. Instead of chicken soup, I recommend watching Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, and AJ Brown flying like an eagle.
You mean watching Saquon Barkley and them?
Oh man, when we
Man,
get to the NFL, this is gonna be some real good
I like
conversations there.
I like what I see out of Saquon though.
Yeah, yeah. I just wish he was on my fantasy team.
I
That,
like
that's
what I
the
see
only
out of
thing.
talk about fumbling. New York Giants. Paying
Yes.
him.
Daniel
That was
Jones all that
crazy.
money. You stupid.
hmm Oh man, but yes. And then we scroll down a bit to round out the top
BYU
25.
dropped. Holy.
Mm-hmm.
What
Because they
they at?
lost what, like back to back? They're number
Yeah, that's me
19.
betting.
Because a couple of weeks ago, how high were they ranked? Like number, was it six or something like that?
Yeah,
Five
they
or
were
six?
ranked top 10.
Yeah,
Damn.
top 10. So they've fallen in the last 2 weeks. They've fallen and they can't get up. So
Ooh.
80 says the zone hating on Jalen and AJ.
Nothing.
Hey, AJ does good too.
I'm not hating on AJ Brown.
It's basically Barkley and AJ on that team is your hoists.
I just said Barkley and them. That's all I said.
He treating Barkley like Barkley's the Michael Jackson of the groups. He's like Jackson
He
5, like
basically
no, it's
is.
Michael and the rest. Oh man. But yeah, I mean, I look at this list here and I'm very happy for UNLV. Shout out to them. Your quarterback dipped and you kept it going. You showed them you are the same without. Whatever happens the rest of the way, UNLV, they should be very proud of this season. Illinois, when's the last time we saw them even ranked? Like that's a tremendous season for them. Definitely needed there. this is for the people that are like the true Fighting Illini fans who've been through so much over the last couple of years. I remember they brought in Lovey Smith, and that didn't work out for them at all. At all. I'm like, dang man, you was in the NFL. You can't bring any talent to Chicago. Like, but Fighting Illini,
No,
shout out to them. So, and then you had Kansas State, keeping it afloat there, 8-3.
Colorado
Um,
dropped.
they did. But it goes to show you, because even last year, when this team had about 3 losses, everybody was basically off that train. Like, all right, we see the wreck. But even with 3 losses, we still know that they are a quality football team. You can see the difference from what they were last year, what they are this year. Nobody can deny that. Kansas just out there upsetting teams. But we see this team, they're 8-3. And you look at where they were 2 years ago. You look at what they were last year. They're continuing to improve year by year. But the real challenge is going to be next year, losing the guys that they are losing. Can they at least keep it afloat that way? But of
They
course,
losing
they
the
are
whole
doing it with you.
offense.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
losing. They losing Shador and Hunter. AK, your offense is gone.
I
Hmm.
like that. I like the other quarterback they got though.
Yeah, I did see that. I did see that. That's a big
Yeah.
time. And they are flipping some recruits because wasn't there a guy, old man, who decommitted from Ohio State? I think he was like a 5-star defensive end, and he's going to Colorado.
Oh yeah, I forgot
It
his
irked
name.
me
Y'all
the
had
wrong way.
y'all had a lot of flips lately.
Well, we ain't getting into that, Zoe.
Oh my bad.
we ain't getting into that. JB's trying to call and say, was the money not enough? Like, are we being cheap? Like, what's going on? Did somebody give Bill Belichick the budget here? What's going on?
God.
Like, oh man. Eric says, skull, 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 bet, bet. All right. And so that concludes the top 25. Now let's take a look at the college football playoff picture as of right now. And so let's go ahead and share this tab here. And Kenneth, what's good with you? Kenneth says, how am I doing tonight? JB is doing well. And he said, what are my thoughts about 2 college football playoffs there? About 2 college football playoffs. Well,
When?
I'll tell you what, though. My thoughts when it comes to the college football playoffs could be a typo there. It could be about the college football playoffs. So essentially, how I feel about it, if this is how the bracket looks right here, I like the first 2 matchups there for Ohio State in this one. I would love to see Georgia versus Oregon because honestly, or either Tennessee versus Oregon, either or, because I feel like this is an even matchup, could go either way there between those 2 teams. So whoever wins that one, that's probably the best. Yeah, that's the best first round matchup, followed closely by Indiana versus Penn State. Again, if
Man,
this were to be the actual college
who
football
the hell
playoff.
y'all play?
Say what?
Who the hell y'all play? Who the hell is that?
That's Arizona State.
That's
Oh my
Arizona
God.
State.
So
We winning.
Man.
We will win. We will win that. We'll win against both state. We win the next one, and then we probably lose.
Yeah, but that's still too many winning. I don't like that matchup. Arizona State.
Hey,
see,
it ain't our fault. Michigan couldn't keep up.
I'm
ooh,
just
shots being
saying.
fired here.
What happened? What happened with the Texas, Miami, and shit? How the hell you with the Boise and Arizona State though?
So what you
Hey,
got to realize, is that obviously the rankings we're the second best team, but because only one team can go from our conference there, that puts us as the highest non-conference champion right now. So therefore, we're going to get the easiest matchup out of all of them and put into the easiest bracket based upon that's how things are right now. So therefore, we wouldn't have to start off against, as Old alluded to, versus someone like a Miami and stuff like that. That'll be probably Penn State's or Indiana's problem. Personally, between the 2 teams there, I would like to see Indiana get that W there and play Miami, but we'll see between those 2 teams there. And then Notre Dame versus SMU. Notre Dame gets a pretty favorable, I would think a pretty favorable matchup there, but I don't know. SMU could beat them. I could see that as well. And then
Right.
Texas, now the real question is, if Texas were to play Miami, I'm pretty sure Texas will win that one. Like
I
I
don't,
feel confident that because I would think that
I don't
that
trust Texas
defense
no
that
more,
the
man.
I mean, but Miami, how many games have they played this year where they barely won against lower ranked teams?
No, I
Like
feel you though. It's just that quarterback and them big moment. He just be fizzling out. I don't know.
You're right. You're right. You're
Hey,
right.
I
But I
don't
feel
know.
like it wouldn't even come down to him because against a team like UGA, right? Texas, they're not going to be able to just go out there and just run and have their way. They will need the balance of being able to pass. Against Miami, though, they might can get away with running it a little bit more and have success doing that to where it's a lot easier on him. The problem for Texas is when right now you make it to where he can't get no running game. The offense can't get no momentum, so it's up to him. Just like the same thing you can say about Carson Beck there, to where if you force it to where it's only up to them. But Carson Beck, I believe in UGA's defense as well to create some turnovers and give them some easy field positions as well. Now, if you're playing against Miami, Miami's going to put up some points there. They're going to put up some points.
Right.
But again, just for the people's sake, I want to zoom into this one and share this tab here. This is the University of Miami's schedule this year. Now, at first glance, you look at this and you're like, oh man, look at that. Like all these W's here. But then you take a deeper dive here against Louisville. They won there by 7 points. Okay. Look, California, a 1 point victory in which they were down like by a lot in the fourth quarter. I forget what the actual score was there, but they were down. They had to score at least three touchdowns in that fourth quarter to win that one. Virginia Tech, another one in which we all saw the controversy. I think we were live during that game where Virginia Tech, the guy caught the ball, but because the defender touched the ball and he was partially out of bounds, they called it incomplete and stole that one away from Virginia Tech. And so some of these games are deceitful. I know that final score there against South Florida says 50-15, but if you watch that first half, South Florida was with them toe and toe up until that second half. But I just pointed out like 3 games. Obviously, they lost to Georgia Tech as well, so they really could have had 1, 2, 3, 4 potential losses against teams that aren't that good. Nobody's talking about Virginia Tech. Nobody's talking about Cal. Louisville, I'll give you that. It was on the road there. I'll give you that. But Tech shouldn't have been that way.
D
So
Wills, what's the deal?
that's what I'm saying when it comes to what they've done. And then you want to look at who's the biggest win that they've had. I mean, at the time that they played Florida, Florida's a mess. I remember that game right there. It was a flat out mess at that point in time. And so you look at this, who stands out as the most impressive W on this schedule? Sure, it's in Florida State, unless you just haven't been watching football this year. It sure wasn't them. So I guess the most impressive W, what do you say? Oh, Virginia Tech, maybe? Louisville, perhaps? Probably
I
Louisville.
say Virginia.
Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I
So
think they are.
so that's my thing there. But at the same time, you look at these numbers though. Ward's been lighting it up. 400 yards, 437, 400. There's no doubt about what Cam Ward can do. But in the college football playoffs, it takes more than just you being able to pass the ball. If a team is good enough to shut you down passing, can you run the ball also and provide some
Well,
balance?
Cam
So,
Ward can. He can do it himself. He can run when need be.
Barber, what's the deal?
and so Laney, what's good? And shout out to Barbara, what's good with you? So again, just wanted to share that, and let's go ahead and share back this one here. So again, but that's what it's looking at right now in terms of just the college football playoffs in that path there. And so, but that would make for an interesting, first round there, Tennessee, Georgia, that entire bracket there versus Oregon. Now, one would think, with Oregon being the 1 seed, shouldn't they have like that easier path? Because it feels like Boise State, their path probably would have been, or maybe not that. Maybe I'm just thinking because, not including Ohio State there. But just to think that, man, you're the 1 seed and your reward is either Tennessee or Georgia as the first game you play.
Good looking.
Basically your reward is that you got that first round off at that point. Because I rather have this one, whoever wins out of this, if I'm the 1 seed, as opposed to whoever wins out of this, quite honestly. So, but that's just my 2 cents there. Let's see. Laney says, I'm so glad Tennessee is in it. And so, hey, there it is. Who's Tennessee play this week, by the way? And so I didn't even see who Tennessee plays this week. All right, but it's time for us to switch gears now and go over to the NFL. And let's go ahead and switch tabs here. All right, so here's how the standings are for our pick'ems for the NFL right now. So, old man, I tied you up.
Hey, I'm still first, it says.
It says I'm first too.
Oh,
It says
dang
I'm first
Bills.
too.
Them
And
dang
once
Bills.
again, once again, Curtis is outshining us all because look at this. All three of us got 66 losses. However, he's just been, he's had less games than we have. So honestly, if Curtis started when we started, he'd be up there. So he's the true number one. The true number one. And then we've got Zoe. Did you get your picks in last week, Zoe? I'm gonna look and
Yeah.
see if they counted yours last week or not. Because they didn't count your college one. So nah, they didn't get none of your picks in there. So all right, so you were spared this week.
Uh,
And let's see if Lewis got his. We'll start from the bottom there, see if he got his in. All right, did not. Lewis went MIA. Ever since the Bears lost to the Patriots, we have not seen Lewis one time since then. Oh,
Louis,
someone's
I'm
got to
out. I'm
contact him.
staying out.
All right, so let's go ahead and look at what Curtis did because he's got the magic right now. He's got the magic. All right, so we'll start here. So he was right about the Dolphins, right about Detroit there, 24-6. All right, got Kansas City right. And hey, Zoe, your prediction of Carolina upsetting the Chiefs there, which you said a couple weeks ago, almost came true there. Almost came true. But
yeah,
it
them
did
boys,
not.
they tried their best, man.
They did. They did. They put up a fight. And that's all you can really ask for as a coach from a team with a record like this. You're going against, a team that obviously, knows how to win the big games and stuff. And you went out there and you fight. That's the kind of effort you want each and every
Right.
week if you are Carolina. That's all you can ask for right now from them. And then you got Houston getting upset to Tennessee. And so, oh man, they're down bad.
Yeah.
They're down bad. My man Nico Collins, though, he got into the end zone, but Joe Mixon was not able to do anything against Tennessee. But 32 points there by the Titans, that tells me that defense also had their struggles in that matchup as well. Because you let Will Levis pick you apart there. That says a lot. That says a lot. Let's see. Laney says Vandy. Okay, you guys play Vandy? Okay, bet. Let's see. Eric says, Mr. Zoe, are you a turkey leg man, Skull?
You better believe that.
For sure. All right, let's see. So chose the Vikings correctly over the Bears. Hey, I was a little nervous at first now. I was a little nervous now. Did Chicago put up more of a fight than I anticipated that they were going to
Man,
in this matchup, man?
I woke up, man. We is up by 10. I fell asleep, woke up, we was in overtime.
My man said the
Hey.
math ain't mathing, bro.
I said,
'Cause
what's happened?
I was looking, bro, and I was like, I was shocked. I was like, wait, what? Overtime? Because like you said, at first I seen you guys had a little bit of a lead there, and so I was like, okay. Started, monitoring my fantasy football teams and stuff, and then I was like, wait a minute, what happened? How did that happen? So for anybody that actually watched the entire game, let JB know in the chat. How did it even go to overtime? Like what happened?
I know they got an offside kick and got it back.
Oh, they got an onside kick?
Sam
Yeah.
Darnold also went down. He got hurt.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but
Oh
Sam
wow.
back in though, I think.
Yeah, he went back in, but it gave Chicago enough time with your bum ass backup.
Oh.
Could have put
What?
Nick Mullen.
Yeah, that's why you guys bought Daniel Dimes in. He'll be your backup soon, and then when Sam goes down again, we'll
Nah.
start seeing Ghost again. Danny Dimes coming in.
Nah.
All right.
All
Well, it's a
right.
good thing they prevailed though with that W there, and again, you know how division games can be. As we saw with Houston losing to Tennessee, division games you're going to get their best because they look forward to that twice a year, and just the fact you guys play multiple times out the year, so it's a hard fought game, but you won it on the road. And then this one, Tampa Bay versus the Giants. I mean, Baker and company, they went out there and they put in the work. They did. Danny DeVito, he just what had me is my man Malik Neighbors after the game talking about they ain't throwing the ball, so they was already down by 30 points before they start targeting my man. And so that tells you everything you need to know. Like y'all not even trying to get your playmakers the ball until you're down
About
by this much.
yo, they about if you look at this way, they about to get Dayball out of there. There's no way Dayball survives. How much neighbors talking smack? How much everybody else is talking? How everybody's trying to say Dayball failed with Daniel Dimes. I think Dayball's out of there.
I think so too.
It's you can tell on his face like he knows something's happening. Like he knows he's done for.
Absolutely.
And if the crafts are smart and not stupid, they fire AVP right when that happens and call Dayball off and say, "Come on home, come on home."
Key word, if they're smart. We'll see about that. And then we had, speaking of upsets, see, this is what I talk about when I say divisional games providing upsets. Because ain't no way you're going to tell me that, the Cowboys in their current situation is supposed to upset the Commanders at the Commanders on top of that. Now, that was wild. That was wild. I
Yeah.
mean, between the injuries that the Commanders had in the backfield and just, late they started moving the ball, but Cowboys 34 points on that defense there. That has me a little concerned there for that defense of the
Now,
Commanders.
what's be more concerned for you is that special teams. They the one that gave up, I think, 2 touchdowns.
A word?
Yeah, that they. Oh, the
I
one
seen the one.
touchdown they gave up. It went from 20 to 27. Fucking, it was almost a touchback, and the guy grabbed it. It bounced. He grabbed it and took it back and did like a spin and took it to the house.
And they kicker missed the extra point.
And
Yeah,
the kicker missing extra points.
the
He
man looked
missed two
sick.
of them. He missed one earlier. I don't understand why Dan didn't say, you know what, we have to go for
Go
two.
for
Our
two.
kicker missed already. He missed the field goal. We gotta go for two.
They wasn't able to really establish the ground game at a high effectiveness either, with Brian Robinson Jr. getting hurt, coming back, getting hurt again. That didn't
Actual
help.
getting hurt.
So, yeah, but Cowboys got that W, and only 5% of the population chose them to win that. Now, that they were all Cowboy fans, because ain't nobody that's neutral or anything gonna be
They
choosing
ain't
the
Cowboy
Cowboys in
fan.
that
They
matchup
Sherry
there.
Sones. What are you talking about? It's Sherry Sones in his family.
Oh man, and then the Broncos over the Raiders there. Broncos getting that W there down there in Las Vegas. If memory serves me right, don't the Broncos typically struggle against the Raiders? If memory
Yeah,
serves me right, so big win for them. Bo
they
Nix,
always
I
have.
mean, yeah, Bo Nix is really turning things around over there. 7-5.
Hey, I admit I was wrong. I even said I was wrong about Bo Nix last week.
That's right,
I
he
was
did
dead
say it.
wrong.
Did say it. And then speaking of being wrong, Arizona, they lost in that one. San
Didn't even show up
Francisco.
to try.
Okay, so missed on San Francisco, missed on the Rams,
Damn.
missed on the Chargers.
Who the fuck is this?
All right, and this was Curtis, I believe. In which, what was his overall record this week?
5-5.
6-6.
Oh,
So okay, 6-6. All right, let's go ahead and see how old man did. All right. All right, so to start off there, chose the Steelers, as did 93%. Was correct about the Dolphins, Detroit, the Chiefs, missed on the Texans, right about the Vikings, Buccaneers, wrong about the Commanders, right about the Broncos. All right, Cardinals wrong, Packers correct, Eagles correct, Ravens correct. I remember I was so upset when you changed your pick last week from the Chargers to the Ravens, and your boy ended up playing anyways, Khalil Mack, I believe. So
I know.
if
And you know
only
what's
he would have just
crazy? You want to know what's crazy? I was trying to change it, and it wouldn't let me log in. I was
that that,
trying to
that
change
hurts.
it 2 minutes before the game. I'm like, it won't let me log in.
I
And I'm
was
like, oh,
hoping.
well, we'll roll the dice.
So yeah, that could have been the difference between me being in like sole first place if you would have been able to make that switch. So I am saddened about that. But your boy JB making a resurgence here. So let's see, how did I do? 10-3 this week. So 10-3 this
damn.
past week. You know, Was wrong about the Steelers, of course, right about the Dolphins, all right, right about Detroit, the Chiefs, missed on the Texans, right about the Vikings, Buccaneers, wrong about the Commanders. Let's get old man back in. All
I
right, and then we
get a
got
phone call.
Broncos with the W. Was right about the Seahawks because I remember with this one right here, and I was like, I'm gonna go with the Seahawks here because I had a feeling that they were gonna just win this one at home, and the 12th man did show up. Then the Packers, Eagles, Ravens, and yep, off on that one. Okay, so that was last week. Now it's time to go ahead and pick for the upcoming week. All right. So tomorrow, the game that I will be live streaming tomorrow when it comes to the Bears versus the Lions. I will be live streaming tomorrow. Let's see. Barbara says, Zoe, how do you feel about Davis?
Oh, man, I really don't feel no type of way. Barber for life. It's like I don't like. He don't do nothing for me. He ain't like he about to play. He just a practice squad. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, we get a draft pick for even signing Daniel Jones. So it was a good move for the Vikings. So
Okay.
I'm not mad about it.
So it's like he's indifferent. Y'all want to get him excited, talk about somebody that's going to be on a 53-man roster.
Yeah, I'm not like
All
okay.
right. All right. All right. So I will go first with this one here. And of
Uh,
course, Chicago versus Detroit. Detroit's been playing pretty solid, as we know, throughout most of the year here. They're at home. They're used to playing on Thanksgiving. Obviously that's their game. So I'm gonna go ahead and rock with Detroit. No reason for me to take Chicago here, although it could be a little closer than expected. But I got the Lions. So, old man, who you got?
I'm gonna take the Lions. However, if Brown and David Montgomery not able to play, I'm switching to Chicago.
Okay.
If
Okay.
it lets me log in.
Okay. Zoe,
I got the Lions in this game.
you got the Lions, but who do you want to win?
So I want the Bears to win. Shit.
I figured. I figured.
Yeah. I want the Bears to win. But I ain't
I
got
mean,
no
what
faith. I ain't got no faith in no damn Caleb Williams.
I'm about to say, what percentage do you give them in terms of a chance to win?
Man, about a 15%.
15%. Okay, okay.
The Lions would have to have a big ass meltdown on offense.
They would. They would. Let's see. Cash says, told you guys I'm better picking college than NFL games. And so, man, I wish I had your success when it comes to these college picks.
Well,
For
guys, what I'm
sure.
gonna follow your college for now on. Help a brother out. I gotta take this #1 spot.
Let's see. So the Giants and the Cowboys. Oh man, we'll start this one with you first in terms of who you got in this one.
I feel bad for whoever's gonna watch this game, but I'm going with
You ain't,
Cowboys.
you ain't bullshitting.
Come on, they should give you that Black Friday sale in advance. Make tickets just
No, what should have happened
20%.
was they should have put a different team on. Let's be real. You got Cooper Cup or Cooper Rush going against Drew Lock.
Yep,
It Drew Lock now?
Yeah,
yep.
because
Danny's
Danny's not
hurt.
he's not playing. He's hurt.
Damn, already?
Oh, he took a mean hit though. He took a mean hit in that
Dang.
game.
Yeah, I got the Cowboys in this game too, though.
Okay, okay. So Zoe's got the Cowboys. Oh, you said you got the Cowboys as well?
Oh yeah.
All
Hey
right. Well,
now,
baby.
hey B, think about it though. Unless if Sherry Zone starts playing 50 Cent, Drew Lock might go in the 50 Cent zone. Or
Hey.
my bad, Young ZZ. Young ZZ, my bad.
Yeah, see, I got the Cowboys winning this one. They just showed against the Commanders, one division team there. Giants down to the third string quarterback. I cannot believe in Drew Lock. That's one of those things where you got to show me multiple times. So I got to go
Well,
with them in this one.
technically, he ain't the third stringer. He's the backup.
That's true. That's true. That's true. But he started the year off as the third string, so I'm good with that. But you're right. Now the backup. All right. Next, we're gonna rock with Zoe, and this game is on. No, this one's the last one of the Thanksgiving matchups here. So Zoe, who you got this time?
I got the Dolphins, man.
He's got the Dolphins. And tell us what made a difference for you when it comes to picking the Dolphins here. Why do you think like this matchup against the Packers here? Why they'll pull off this matchup?
I just, I just feel like gonna be an upset, man. The Dolphins been playing good football lately. The Packers, to me, just been getting lucky the last few games, and everybody back on the Packer train. And I think Miami gonna shock a lot of people.
Okay. Okay. I like it. I like it. Old man, who you got?
I got Green Bay. I think they're gonna go old school in this game, and they're gonna run the ball. Jacobs gonna go for gonna get a workload this year, but this game.
Yeah, for that same reason, I believe in Josh Jacobs here. I'm rocking with Green Bay to win this one as well. Although I do think Miami's going to put up a great fight in that one. I could see them winning that one, but I got the Packers here at home.
Dolphins had trouble stopping our running back group with our badass O line.
That's true. All right, next up, the Raiders and the Chiefs. JB will go first with this one here. So I mean, Raiders have shown recently that they'll put up a good fight against Kansas City. This is going to be that Friday matchup there where it's the only game there. I don't even know it's going to be. What, another one of those prime games where you got to have Amazon Prime to watch it. So, but ultimately, when it's all said and done, though, I can't go against the Chiefs in this one here. Although I think the Raiders will put up a great fight, but I think the Chiefs win it in the end, something like 24-19, something like that. They will win it. It may not be pretty, but they will win. And plus, Isaiah Pacheco, isn't he close to coming back? I think
I
that Andy
think
Reid
so.
said, barring a setback, he should be coming back. So now it's not just Kareem Hunt in the backfield. Now you've also got Isaiah Pacheco coming back. So that's a lot there for the Raiders. So, and especially when your own coach goes out there and publicly says we're the worst team in the league going against the best team in the league, you can't say
And,
that.
and
You
I
can't
think
say that.
Hollywood Browns will be coming
He
back
about to
too.
he.
But is he coming
Oh
back
yeah,
in
he's
time
coming
for this
back.
this week
No, this year.
or
Nah,
this year?
That's what I
they
seen.
saying playoffs. Both of them are supposed to be back to full time by playoffs.
Okay, well, shoot, it's going in the right direction for Kansas City and stuff like that. I mean, complete opposite of San Francisco, but that's another thing we'll talk about once we get to San Francisco. So yeah, I got my pick in there. Ode, who you got?
I got KC, and it could get so ugly. I wouldn't be surprised if Raiders fire their head coach.
Ooh, so you're saying it's about to be an ugly beat down here. I mean,
Oh
Aiden
yeah, think
O'Connell's coming
about it.
back for this one, right?
I think this might be the get the KC going. They had back to back bad weeks. They lost to Buffalo and then almost lost to the Panthers. They gotta get going. They gotta get their stuff together. And who's better than the Raiders?
Okay, okay. Zoe, before I get to the super here, who you got in this one?
I got the Chiefs.
He's looking at JB. Why you even got to ask me that?
Yeah, I got the Chiefs.
All right, all right. And let's see. So 80s with another super says,
Shout out to
old man.
80s.
Yeah, shout out to 80s here. Says, old man and JB, since you guys are diehard Pat fans, so this is for us, old. What do you think about TV12 as a broadcaster? And you say, Zone, please give your thoughts as well. So let's go ahead and let Zoe get his thoughts out there first, and then we'll go old man and then myself.
Man, they got Tom Brady, man. He can't even say what he want to say. Tom Brady shouldn't be on TV for real. He can't. I forgot what he got going on with the NFL, but he can't critique a game like he really want to. So he
Because he's
might.
part owner.
Yeah, part owner
Oh,
of
he
the.
part owner of the Raiders, so he can't even get his full thoughts on football games.
He can't
It just
call refs out. He can't do none of that.
yeah. So he basically just being vanilla out there in the booth. Well, nobody want to hear that shit for real. I don't like it.
Okay, okay. Old man, your thoughts?
To to me, if you like the old school where football knowledge, where he's breaking down plays and everything, he's good. But like in the zone says, he can't talk about anything. He can't even go to a practice. He can't even talk to the players before the game because he's part owner of the Raiders. He can't talk to Mahomes. He can't talk to anybody because then he'll get in trouble and the Raiders will get in trouble. I
Yeah,
think in the zone's right. He to me, it's just another body. He's just there to mumble up stuff.
yeah,
I hope
yeah,
he leaves it. I hope this year he looks at it and says, you know what, I'm done. I'm gonna be a part owner. I'm gonna focus on helping the Raiders become turn around.
yeah. Cause he only can
Yeah,
say certain things.
exactly. This,
He's the detail guy. He's like if you want a playbook, he's basically Tony Romo. And I can't believe I'm fucking saying this. He's not even good as Tony Romo when it
Right.
comes to talking.
Yeah, cause Tony Romo ain't got no speculation on his
That's what
ass.
I'm saying,
mhm.
and that's the bad part. You got
Yeah,
Tom Brady out here worse than Tony Romo when Tom
yeah,
Brady could be able to tell you break down a play for
Yep.
perfect, and he can't.
right.
His hands are tied. Like
Yeah,
Hmm.
I don't like it.
I
Exactly. I
agree. I
mean,
don't like it.
yeah, I mean, shoot, you guys already covered the main points there. I mean, I guess what I can add on to that, like, it's he's doing too much because obviously these restrictions there. I mean, the reason why you bring on a guy like a Tom Brady, because that insider insight. Anytime you target a former athlete, it's because of those. You want to be able to draw into the stuff that we like that we don't get access to regularly. Otherwise, you'd have went and got somebody that probably went to Vanderbilt for about 4, 5, 6, 7 years and stuff like that, and just brought them in to do that. But instead, you go out there, you get a TB12, and then you take away all the stuff that we as a fan want to know. Like, give us that insider there, that scoop. Like, how you gonna have the play-by-play in color and take away the color at that point? Like, it's
Right.
bland at that point.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like you guys said, he'd be better off focusing on what he's got going on with the Raiders, because that's a real opportunity for him to put his name there and build a legacy over there. But it's not going to work. This won't last, him being able to do both of these like this, because at some point the people are going to be like, all right, okay, it's just not working. Once you get past the fact, like, oh, it's Tom Brady, and like, all right, this is pretty bland here. Like,
Right.
come on. So, but those are our thoughts there, 80s. All right, so moving on here. Ooh. Oh man, we're gonna start first with you for this one here. The Atlanta Falcons versus the Los Angeles Chargers here. Who you got?
At the beginning of the season, I would say it's an easy pick and go with the Falcons, but how their defense been playing and how good Lad has stepped up and became a dark horse and offensive rookie of the year, in my opinion, I'm taking the Chargers.
Who?
Lad
Lad McConkey. He's a
McConkey,
Oh yeah,
former
wide
yeah, yeah,
receiver,
yeah,
MVP.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that fucking wolf traded down. Don't get me going. But
yeah,
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 I got
yeah.
the Chargers.
He been balling.
Hmm. And so, Zoe, who you
I
got?
got, I got the Chargers, man. I like that defense versus Kirk Cousins. Shit, I got the Chargers all day. You seen
I
you seen
Yeah, go
what Bo
ahead.
Nix did, right?
I seen. I can't forget it. I can't. In one of my leagues, I dropped the Falcons defense purely after that game. Like, they was on the bench, but after that, I was like, "There's no room on the bench. Even though there ain't nobody to pick up to replace them, they're gonna be on the bench."
Yeah,
So,
okay.
but yeah. I mean, I do have concerns when it comes to J.K. Dobbins' situation. I know he's going to be out there, so that's a small concern, because if they had him, I know that they could easily gash that defense there. But it just means that Justin Herbert's going to have a bigger impact through the air. So I believe the Chargers will win this one here. I hate this defense that
You
the
got
Falcons got.
guts.
Hate it. They do have Gus there, but I like when J.K. Dobbins gets going. I do like when he gets going. It's just something about when he gets going, that offense takes it to another level. But still, they have more than enough to still take on the Falcons, even though it's going to be in Atlanta. But that defense just looked bad, bad, like really bad. So I got to go with the Chargers here. All right. Seems like the people are divided here. Steelers versus the Bengals, fresh off of the Steelers losing to the Cleveland Browns. You heard me right. Losing to Jameis and the Cleveland Browns. And Jameis, he tried to turn the ball over a couple times now. And they tried to lose that game, but Pittsburgh didn't want it even more than they didn't want it. So only person that wanted it really was Nick Chubb. That's about it. Everybody else didn't want it. So tell me, we'll go ahead and we will start with Zoe for this one. Steelers versus Bengals. Who you got and why?
I'm going with the Bengals, man. At the crib, I feel like the Pittsburgh Steelers is in a little funk right now, man. And I feel like they're gonna score more points than the Pittsburgh Steelers can score. Because the Steelers can score points like that. And
Hmm.
everybody might be going back to the quarterback situation. Russell Wilson. Who the other quarterback?
Justin
Uh,
Fields.
Justin Field. What to do at the quarterback spot? And plus this division game and the Bengals shit. They need a W. They this is a desperate win right here for the Bengals. I'm not saying they're gonna make the playoffs, but might will mess up another opponent. See,
Right, right. At the very least, there mess them up. I'll go next. This game has me torn. It has me torn. It really does between the two. In all honesty, um, for Pittsburgh, they made some dumb decisions, and I have to go back to that play where Mike Tomlin on third down, obvious passing down, fourth quarter, he subbed in Justin Fields for a deep pass play, which made no sense. If you're not going to use him for a run, that's why he got benched. He could not complete the deep ball. You know that. But with the game, basically, I'm not going to say on the line, but pretty much an important down, you opt to put him in and go deep. That's why George Pickens was over there livid on the sideline. His body language, he already knew. Why would you mess this up and put when Russ was having a pretty decent game? He was having a pretty decent game. It wasn't like Russ was out there doing bad. It's just they kept settling, field goals, not able to get into the end zone for enough touchdowns. But that being said, though, I do believe that Cincinnati has shown that they can put up some points. But I'm going to go ahead and say that the Steelers, that they learned from that mistake and they're not about to drop back-to-back ones. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Steelers to win this one. Old man.
I got the Steelers.
Okay, going with the Steelers as well. I thought you were going to take the Bengals there, old.
I thought about it, but I don't trust them. They lost to Jacoby Brissett. Come on now. I don't trust them.
Now I'll say this is a different Bengals team than that team there, but
I
same
don't care. It's
time,
the same head coach.
and so we'll move forward there. All right, and of
I
course,
guess I'll
anytime
go.
it's the Cardinals there, Up, hold on. Let's see. 80s coming through, dropping the big 4-5 there in the chat there. Shout out to 80s there in the gift of giving here. Oh man, getting us started right for Thanksgiving. He says, you guys may be too young to remember this, but Zone, please say into the mic, funky cold Madden. And so this is for Zoe.
What'd he say?
He says, you may be too young to remember this, but Zoe, he wants you to say this into the mic. He wants you to go, funky cold Madden.
Hey, will the cold go away? Funky cold, man. Shit. Did I say it loud enough? For real. I'm trying to get my
I'm sure,
voice back.
I'm sure 80s is over there dying right now.
For real. I'm trying to do anything to get my voice back.
Right. Oh man. I mean, but how long have you been battling with this, man? Because this has been
This,
a
this,
good
this the
minute,
sec
man.
this the second week.
Second week. Oh man. All right, so let's go ahead but again, appreciate that 80s. Absolutely. All right, so of course, Cardinals, Vikings here. We got to start off with we already know who you got here, but just tell us your expectations for this game and what do you want to see from the Vikings in this one?
Oh, number one run defense versus the Arizona Cardinal run game. I like it
It's a
looks.
tune lock song.
Oh,
So,
okay. yeah,
Okay, okay, okay.
but I like the Vikings though. I like the Vikings defense. I think gonna be a close game. The Cardinal might score 17, 14 points. I think the Vikings get about 27, 24 points. The Vikings win this game at the crib though. It should be a good game though, but I like our defense versus the Cardinal offense. And Sam Darnold should have another game, another clean game, as I should say, with no interceptions.
Well, tell me this, though. Tell me this, because I'm in the final week of my fantasy league and one of my fantasy weeks, and so Jordan Addison, what he put up last week was tremendous in terms of what he did last week. Can we expect a similar performance in this one from Jordan Addison specifically, or would you shy away from that and be like,
No,
that's probably just a 1 week type of thing?
no, he all he could do that. It just Sam Darnold just realizing he had that type of wide receiver. He just not finding Jordan Addison.
That is true. That is true.
Because if you look at the interceptions that Sam threw throughout the year, Jordan Addison be wide open on a lot of plays. He just be forcing the ball to Justin Jefferson. Last week he ain't forced the ball to JJ. He only had like 2 catches.
Okay. Yeah, I did see that. I did see that.
Yeah, so
Mr. JV was over there like, tell Justin Jefferson he needs some fantasy points
yeah, so I can see him
badly.
have, I can see him have another big game against the Cardinal defense.
Okay. Okay. All right. Appreciate that insight there. All right. And so we'll go ahead and switch over to old man because I see the Cardinals up there. I know you've been an advocate for the Cardinals. So will you continue that this week?
Nope, they let me down last week. I'm going with the Vikings.
Oh man, I was hoping you was gonna go with the Cardinals there.
No, when they let me down, I go.
Okay, okay. Well, I got the Vikings as well. This Cardinals team, they're up and down, but if you got a legit defensive squad, then it's like they forget how to play, offense. It's like Kyler Murray will forget that Marvin Harrison Jr. exists and stuff like that. James Conner, he'll destroy you if you're not good, but if you're good, then he won't get very much going. I expect the offense to come out and look flat. And when I say flat, I mean like a soda that it's been pretty much in the open for about a couple weeks and stuff like that, real flat. So Vikings defense will dominate. That'll be the storyline at the end of this one here. So Kyler Murray, I'll go as far as to say that Kyler Murray is probably going to even get a fumble the ball in this game. Like he'll fumble the ball in this
Oh
game.
yeah,
So
he gonna have some
I'll go with that.
turnovers.
So there it is. Barbara says Vikings. All right, let's go ahead and talk about one that for me and Mr. JB, this is what we all look forward to this week. So JB will go first in this one here. Obviously Indianapolis, Anthony Richardson, he's looked, since he came back from being benched, I know last week wasn't a pretty one, but that was against Detroit there, and his receivers let him down with some drops there. Josh Downs, I think he's going to be out. But to say that and to say this, I feel like after the abysmal performance that we saw from the Patriots last week, I feel like the Patriots are going to find a way to come back and play one of their better games here at home. And I truly believe that they will beat Indianapolis this week. So JB's going Patriots this week here. And so Zoe's looking like, what? So I'll go ahead and let old man go next, though.
I want to say, JB, I got the utmost respect for you picking New England, but give me the Colts. Give me
He
the
said he's
Colts.
going to take the Colts in
Dude,
this
we
one.
had
Okay.
trouble. You understand? We had trouble containing old man and Wowzers. What do you think AR is gonna do? He's gonna run like there ain't no tomorrow.
All right. Well, knowing him, if he runs, he might get hurt. So we might see Joe
And then
Flacco. You never
Flacco will
know.
coming and dot us up.
Yeah,
We'll see.
what's the number? I got Anthony Richardson, AR5.
AR5. Okay, okay, okay. All right, JB going on a limb here, but I could feel it. I could feel it.
Hey, if that's the loss I take, I'll probably take the L for New England.
All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's see. Skull says, JB, you and old man, y'all some cool dudes, bro. I can rock with y'all. And so, hey, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that and appreciate you for sure. But yeah, JB going against the grain there. All right, we'll go first with you, old man here. Seahawks versus the Jets in this one. Who do you got?
Give me the sets. I think Ceno Smith's going home. Oh, he's gonna play his best game of the season, and it's gonna be like his Super Bowl where he goes home. He might, he might drop 300 yards on him with like 3 tutties. DK might have a monster year game this year game. Cause let's be real, that New York Jets defense hasn't looked the same since Salah got fired. They look
You ain't
worse.
lying. You ain't lying about
Like
that.
I'm talking, they went from top 5 to top 10 to bottom
Yeah.
5 to bottom 10.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
That's
K9
right.
K9's been upset asking to get the ball more, and he wants to get
Mhm.
fed. Yeah, K9 might run all over him.
Oh yeah, as he should for my fantasy teams. But yeah, I also got the Seahawks winning this one here. As you mentioned, Gino returning, dishing out some revenge. I like that narrative there for them. So Seahawks get a much needed win because they understand their situation there. Someone's got to take control of the division. Doesn't seem like it's going to be the 49ers. Doesn't seem like the Cardinals are consistent enough. And the Rams just have bad luck, it seems like. So someone's got to win it. So Seahawks, why not you guys? Why not you guys? So Seahawks there for the W. Zoe, who you
I
got
got
in this one?
I got the Seahawks too though.
Okay, okay. So we all going Seahawks here. Like it. Ooh. All right. So next up, Tennessee coming fresh off their upset against Houston at Houston versus Washington at home, who just lost to the Cowboys at home. So Zoe, we're gonna start with you for this one here. Who you got and why?
I think the Commanders have a bounce back game against Tennessee. They at the crib. Will Levis is Will Levis. I think Jaden Daniels is going to play cleaner this week. Probably no turnovers, and they do enough just to beat Tennessee. But I don't see Tennessee beating the Commanders though.
Okay,
The
okay.
Commanders ain't Houston. Houston is just it's just hot mess.
Houston, we got some problems. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Old man.
I got Commanders too. I don't
Okay,
trust
okay.
the mailman. Like I don't trust Will Levis.
Okay, okay. And I'll go next. But shout out to Sky. Appreciate you coming through. Hope you're doing well. And again, to everybody here, a happy, happy early Thanksgiving here. Hope you guys, enjoy. And again, JB will be going live tomorrow for that first game, the Lions and the Bears. So if you guys happen to have time and you're waiting on that food to get done, or either you're cooking and you have it on in the background there, we're going to be going live there for that Bears and Lions for sure. Let's see. And 80s again with another super says, I meant no disrespect. I forgot how young you guys are. You say he's a voice thing that that Zone has. You said after the stream, you say gotta Google. Yeah, I gotta Google it myself. You say Funky Cold Medina Tone Lock. Okay, it's a great song there. So yeah, JB's gonna check it out there. He said it was awesome in the movie Heat. Okay, bet, bet, bet. So yeah, that was above JB there. That was above JB. Absolutely. But again, appreciate all the supers, 80s. Again, appreciate that. Let's see. Sky says what time? And so yeah, so the kickoff for the game tomorrow is, let me just double check that real quick. Make sure I got the right time. But yeah, that's at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. So 12:30 p.m. Eastern time is the start of the Bears and the Lions. So if you're someone that you're not the one that's having to do the cooking that day and you're just waiting on the food to get done, come on through here and join JB as we watch the Bears and the Lions and see if the Lions are going to feast on the Bears, or will the Bears pull off an upset? And I tell you what, though, Zoe, you mentioned something earlier. This is something that me and JB used to say all the time, but we used to say it about the Detroit Lions. Like, why does the NFL continue to keep putting them up there when the Lions were bad, of course? Because, like, they've shown, like, every year they choose a team that's continuously really bad, and we're like, why not put some entertaining teams up there and flex it out? But the NFL has shown that they're committed to having the same teams. And now it's a
oh
good thing
yeah.
for the Lions,
You
though, because
know
the Lions
why
are
though?
better. Go ahead.
The Lions mainly are picked because nobody wanted to play on Thanksgiving
Hmm.
because there was always Cowboys playing, and back then whoever played the Cowboys for 9 out of 10 times they were going to lose, and then 9 out of 10 times it was Dallas versus Lions, and Lions were so bad that the NFL had to one year they had to pay the Lions more money to play. So now they just followed in.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But now I'm happy about it. Shoot, we get to see
But shit, the
the
Lions never
Lions.
win. They don't never win on Thanksgiving.
Oh man, that used to be the theme. That used to be the theme for
Yeah,
I
real.
used to be
Like
so upset, dude. Calvin used to have a nasty game, and you look up and like, man, what the hell?
I would be so annoyed having to watch a Joey Harrington led Detroit Lions team have to suit
God.
up on a prime time matchup
What about
You
against.
Scott
want to talk?
Mitchell?
You want to
Yes,
talk about
yes,
mid?
yes.
You want to talk
Like
about mid QB?
they had some, or Dan Orlovsky or something like that. Man,
Hey,
they've had
now
some bad ones now.
you ain't gotta
Charlie
go that
Charlie
low out
back.
there. Dan, the man who ran out the end zone.
Still running to this day. Still running back there, bro. Like it was. That was bad. That was an all time bad. Like that had to be one of the worst
He
plays.
has, Sakafu.
Yep.
He's that's what he was on. He was on Sakafu before Sakafu was a thing. Now he gets hit. Now QBs do it all the time, and what they say, man, he pulled a dand on them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, those were some tough tough times to have to sit through that. Especially if they matched up against a really good team, like back then when the Eagles, when they had like a Donovan McNabb back then during that same time period. And it's like, ooh, you want like the Lions don't even belong in the same field, honestly. But they've come a long way to give us some entertaining matchups. Especially having to watch a Rex Ryan versus a Joey Harrington. That was nobody deserves that. Nobody. All right, well, let's go ahead and get back to this one here. So, all right, so you guys already set the Commanders here. I'm going with the Commanders as well, and I feel like Tennessee will keep it close. They might even lead at some point, like in the third. It wouldn't be surprised to see them lead with Tony Pollard making a couple plays. But one thing I'll say about Jaden Daniels is that Jaden Daniels, he has said, I mean, he has shown that he can come back. If the game is close, he's shown the ability that he can lead his team down there to score. And that's going to, it might come up this weekend. It might come up this weekend where he does the same thing, game winner towards the end, just hopefully their kicker doesn't miss extra points, but they should win. They should win. All right. So you got Houston versus Jacksonville. Oh, man. Mac Jones still quarterbacking down there for the Jaguars?
I believe so.
Because I know I seen something about Trevor Lawrence, but it didn't seem like it was nothing immediate. This is probably weeks. Almost you're 2-9, so I don't know why you would want your so-called franchise quarterback to come back on a 2-9 season, anyways. But that's entirely
He
different.
practiced, but he they want him to get surgery, but he's not getting surgery.
Zoe, if this was your call, like let's just say you actually wanted what was best for the Jaguars, would you bring Trevor Lawrence back at this point, or would you just ride it out with Mac the rest of the way?
Right out, Mac Jones. Bring him back for what? You can compete next year. Your ass on the contract.
Hmm.
You ain't got shit to prove to me.
That's right.
I already paid your ass shit.
Ain't that the truth? Regretting it, but you
Hell yeah,
already paid.
sit your ass on that bench.
All
Shit.
right. All right. So for this matchup here, Houston versus Jacksonville, who do we guys got winning? We'll start with you, Zoe. What you got for this one?
I got Houston beating Jacksonville. Just because Houston been in a funk. Jacksonville is a funk. It's a perfect time to play each other.
Perfect time.
Shit.
As they used to say, let's make it funky. It's going to get
You
as funky as it gets.
ain't lying. This is the funky is gonna get for real.
All right, I'll go next. I got Houston as well. I'm thinking maybe a final score of like 20-9 or 23-14, something like that. I do think Nico Collins does get into the end zone. Joe Mixon has a bounce back game. Ultimately, Jaguars continue to struggle. So I think that Houston wins that one. Old man.
I'm I'm hoping Jacksonville wins, but they ain't going to. I got Houston. I need
Okay.
Jacksonville at least win 2 more games. You face
Why?
Tennessee twice. When because then they bump them up to fourth. New England lose out. They bump them down to
Oh,
3.
Okay, I was
okay.
thinking you had
I
some
want a
money on
top
this
3
one. I
pick.
was like, I was like, who
Uh,
you making
That
making
is
bets on the
money. I want
Jaguars?
to.
yeah.
I
That's
bet New
dangerous.
England would have a top 3 pick at the draft. I already betted it.
Okay, okay. All right. So I'll go first on this one. Rams versus the Saints here. And ooh, you talk about two teams that every time I choose them, they end up disappointing, like, but that being said though, I believe slightly more in the Rams than I do the Saints as of right now. It's just that Saquon went nuclear out there. There's nothing you can do when that happens. You just brace and take whatever happens. But I think they understand they're 5-6 in a division that's still, up for grabs. I think the Rams come through and they win this one against the Saints here. So I got the Rams here. Old man, welcome back. Who you got?
I got the Rams.
Okay, okay. So two Rams, Zoe.
I got the
You
Rams
good?
too.
Okay.
I got
Okay.
the Rams.
All right. So old man, we'll let you go first here. Carolina versus Tampa Bay.
Even though Bryce looked good last week against KC, give
Real
me
good.
Tampa. Give me Tampa. Mike Evans back. He's feeling good. Baker has been good, doing good. At one point, Baker was playing like the best quarterback in the NFL. I think Tampa goes win.
Okay, okay. Zoe,
Yeah, I got Baker too.
no love for your boy Bryce.
Nah, not
I
this week.
mean, I like what Carolina's doing. I do like what they're doing. But at the same time, I can say the same thing about Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay understands that if they're going to get this division, in which I'm becoming more and more of a believer that they will get the division, this is a must win for them. So I've got Tampa Bay winning this one, which it'll be a competitive game. It will be a competitive game, but Baker and company, they'll continue to score and they'll score enough to outscore Carolina. But I do like what Bryce is doing there. You got to like a good comeback story. You really do. So I'm rooting for him to have a good, rest of the season. Now we get to the good one here. We've got the Eagles and the Ravens. And so we're gonna let Zoe take the first crack at this one here. So you got more faith in the Eagles here or the Ravens?
Come on, man. You know I'm going with the Ravens.
Okay, okay. Going
I
with the
got the
Baltimore Ravens
Ravens, man.
there. Okay, okay. All right, all right. I'll go next. And I think this might be for the first time this season that I'm not choosing the Baltimore Ravens to win. I am going with Philadelphia. It's going to come down to which running back gets going earlier and stuff like that. Which running back's going to have the bigger impact in this one? But honestly, it just comes down to my lack of faith in Baltimore's defense. Baltimore defense is letting everybody get in the end zone. Like everybody getting in the end zone. We just saw what Saquon did last time. The greatness of Saquon, 255. Now I know that the Ravens are better against the run than they are to pass, but you know, AJ Brown, he's due for a big game, like a bigger game, a huge game. Jaden Hurts, this is the kind of game both of these quarterbacks I'm going to be looking. But hey, for JB, it's a win-win. I got both quarterbacks in my fantasy league, so as long as points being put up, JB's happy. But I'm going with the Eagles in this one. Old man, who you got?
I got the Eagles too. I think Saquon's gonna try to go for 300.
I mean, he certainly will try, but but I don't know if the Ravens defense give up that
Yeah.
many yards there. But
Hey, you
you
never
know,
know. It's Saquon.
I hope he saves some for Jaden Hurts for my fantasy team's sake. Like let's make the Ravens commit to the ground game, and then you go ahead and hit them up top and help JB's fantasy team out that way. But if that's the case, I'm not playing against my rival in fantasy again because he's got Saquon, and it's just gonna get ugly. So
Damn.
well, all right. And ooh, y'all know I got to start with old man here. Now, before you pick, remember how you feel about the Buffalo Bills. I want you to remember that. You've been consistent all year long going against Buffalo. Surely you're not going to show that Buffalo Nation any love, are you? Because they sure wouldn't show you any. So who you got over in this one? 49ers or the Bills?
I got the Bills.
I can't believe I'm hearing that. I'm sorry. I don't think we heard that. Zoe wants you to repeat that. You got who?
The Bills.
Oh man. Oh man.
Wrong. You already know who we picking. We picking the Niners. It's fuck the Bills. It's only fuck the Bills. I'll die on the hill. Fuck you, Bills.
All right, that's more like it. That's more like it. So he's taking the 49ers. Okay, okay. Zoe,
I gotta go with Buffalo, man. I don't even know who even playing on the 49ers this weekend.
I don't think they know. I don't think
Right.
they
Oh
know.
wait, Purdy's not playing.
I gotta go with Buffalo.
You said it's the hill that you die on, old man. You can't
Yeah,
go back on your word.
you ain't lying. Unless y'all go on that hill.
Well, JB doesn't have that hill. So JB's got Buffalo winning this one. It's just how many quarters, how long will the first stringers play in this one before they put in the backups towards the end of the game? So I even got Lil Ray Davis going out there scoring a touchdown in the fourth quarter when his team is up by probably like 38-10 or something like that. And they let him get in the game and score a touchdown. So
Wait a
give me
minute.
Buffalo in
Purdy
this one.
hasn't practiced at all. Oh hell no.
You sound nervous, old man.
I'm picking
Are
the
you
Bills.
switching
Never
over?
mind. It's fuck the Bills and I'll die on the hill. Fuck the Bills, but I gotta pick Bills. I thought Purdy was practicing. He ain't practiced at all.
Uh-uh.
Okay, okay.
I'm now watch them lose.
And so Breezy in the building. What's good?
No, hey, Breezy.
What's good? All right, Browns versus the Broncos here, and that's going to be Monday night, in which your boy will be live streaming that one as well. The Browns versus the Broncos. And I'll also be live streaming the 49ers and the Bills matchup. So y'all know we're going to need to have a lot going in the chat that day because it can get ugly. It might get real ugly in that matchup there. But the NFL likes to do that to us. So Bo Nix, who's been playing fantastic lately, they're at home here, and they're against Cleveland, who just had a little upset there against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Can famous
Same to
Jameis keep
you.
it
Same to
going?
you.
And so, yes, yes, happy Thanksgiving to you as well. All right, so old man, who you got, Browns or Broncos?
I got Bo Nix and the Broncos winning this. And
Okay, okay.
I'll say this. Right now, people could say can call me laughing at me. I got Bo Nix as offensive rookie of the year.
Okay, 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 okay. Oh man, that's a whole conversation there. Like narrowing it down to offensive rookie of the year. There's just so many good rookies this year to really choose from. But the interesting thing is, aside from like a Jaden Daniels, if you took that route, like a lot of these rookies were guys that probably, if you asked us at the beginning of the season who's going to be the rookie of the year, we would have said somebody else. Like I know for a fact. I would have thought if it wasn't going to be Caleb, and let's just assume it wasn't, Jaden Daniels, I'd have pivoted to, okay, that means Marvin Harrison Jr. got it, or either if not him, then maybe Malik Neighbors possibly. I would have said that, but man, you got guys like Brock Bowers going off doing historic things for a rookie tight end as well. Lat McConkey, he's doing tremendous. Also,
I
Bo
just don't think.
Nix.
I think you'll go QB because Raiders ain't doing good. Stars is doing good, but Broncos are doing better.
That's right. That's right. All right, but yeah, JB's got the Broncos winning this one as well. Sometimes you just can't overthink it. So I've got the Broncos. Zoe, who you got?
I got the Broncos too.
All right, so we all got the Broncos here. And how many points do we think will be scored in this one?
Man, I got like 36.
I got 34, 20, 21 to 14 or 13.
All right, so I'm going to say, let me double check if that's really what I want to go with here. Yeah, so I'm going to say 39 points in this one. Yeah, 39. Final score like 26-13, something like that. So 39. All right. So those are all of our picks for the week. And now we'll transition over to the NFL current playoff picture. All right, let JB get this pulled up here. All right, let's see. All right, so still at the top, got the Chiefs in the AFC, the Lions in the NFC. Both teams rocking a 10-1 record. Second place in the AFC, you got Buffalo at 9-2, a game behind Kansas City, and obviously they won head to head against the Chiefs there. So if you're the Bills, you're feeling good. You're thinking about locking up the division and stuff like that this week. So if you're Buffalo right now, you're feeling really good. Oh man, tell me if that feeling is kind of familiar in terms of years ago when it used to be like clinch the AFC East around this time of the year. You're either at the one or the two. It's just a matter of if you're going to get that bye week, that one seed or not. Like remember those years old?
Oh, I remember it, but the only difference is New England had a chance to win the Super Bowl. Buffalo don't. And I don't
Oh,
want to hear about them being number two. You ain't winning no damn Super Bowls. Shut up.
oh man. Oh, so you got to hand him a reality check at this point there. He said there's a big
No, because you
difference
want to know
there.
the truth? If they ever won the Super Bowl, these dummies would burn down their own city.
Oh man. Oh man. All right. In the NFC, you've got the Eagles at 9-2, but a big pivotal matchup there against the Baltimore Ravens coming up. All right. Your three
Don't bite
seed for
me
this
with a
in
tail. Don't bite me with a tail.
In the AFC, you've got the Steelers at number three, and they certainly understand it. If they were to lose to Cincinnati, that would be huge right there. They lost to the Browns. That was a big time loss there. Ravens, that was a big time win for them against the Chargers last time out there. So both teams got 8 wins. But if the Steelers mess around and drop this one to the Bengals, look out. Look out. And in the NFC, how about that? So the Seahawks are the three seed right there in the NFC over the Falcons. So okay, okay. And then for the Falcons, at the four seed, they're 6-5. Right now at the top, we'll take a look at Tampa Bay in a little bit there, but right now the Falcons still at number four. They're playing against the Chargers, in which that's not going to be easy for them at all. That's not going to be easy for them at all. Let's see. Breezy says, as long as Mahomes is on the Chiefs, then give it to the Chiefs. Okay, bet, bet. And then the Texans there at number four. And then number five, you've got the Ravens in the AFC, Vikings there in the NFC, rocking a 9-2 record there, hoping that the Lions just go ahead and slip up so they can claim that top spot there. Then you got the Chargers at number six, Packers at number six, and you've got the Broncos at number seven, Commanders at number seven. So that's the playoff picture there. Teams that are on the bubble. And if we're having a real serious conversation here, there's no need to scroll down lower than these teams here. But you look at the Dolphins there, they're 5-6. Big opportunity against Green Bay because if they can win that, that gets you at 500. That gets you at 6-6 there. That's huge. If you win, that puts you at a 35% chance. Whereas if you lose, you drop to 14. So this Thursday night matchup for them is huge. So they're going to come out firing. Hopefully they get Tyreek Hill going for my fantasy team's sake. But they're going to come out and give it their best shot against Green Bay. Believe that. As for the Cardinals, right now you're 6-5 here. If you were to win, that would bump you up to 69%. But a loss, it's not the end of the world. It would drop you to 6-6, but it'll put you at 43% there. So the Cardinals, but a tough, extremely tough matchup there. Going down to the Minnesota there, don't like those odds for the Cardinals very much. Let's see. Barbara says the Lions will drop at least 2 games, and mark your words, fellas. And so there it is. There it is. I do believe the next time that they play the Minnesota Vikings, the Vikings will beat them that time. So I've already given them in my mind that loss. I could see Green Bay potentially doing it, giving them a loss as well. So I think that that's very, very, very possible for them. All right, and then you look at Indianapolis there. They're 5-7. This season has not gone the way that they wanted to at all. But that being said, if they can beat the Patriots, that increases their odds to 30% there. And again, they're just trying to hang around, but a loss would drop it all the way. And oh
Damn.
my goodness, here. Oh man. And so
Eddie
80s,
tripping.
80s coming through here.
Hold
So
on, wait a minute. This ain't the 80s. Who hijacked your stuff, baby? You being nice now. Wait a minute.
hey, the
JB's
YouTube's
on
about to
old
send that
man.
notification. But he says,
Hold
Yeah,
on.
JB,
happy Thanksgiving. Thank you. Same to you, Brody.
yes, happy Thanksgiving to you, 80s. You and your family, really appreciate you coming
Happy
through.
Turkey Day.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, man. But man, appreciate that there, 80s. Appreciate that for sure. For sure. Oh man. Got JB over here speechless, yo. Like,
Nah.
oh man. But I tell you what though, for the Bengals, this is do or die here. Do or die. 4-7. It's already looking grim. But if they win 23%, which that's not where you want to be at, but you can still, come to practice motivated and stuff like that. But you lose 4%? Oh, oh, we thinking for sure, like let me reserve myself for next year and stuff like that. So
If we
that's
being
just
real though, if the Colts had a better quarterback, they might have won the division.
it certainly would be up for grabs there. It certainly would be if they had a better quarterback for sure. But hey, this is the quarterbacks that they assembled out there. And then you've got Tampa Bay, although they're at the ninth spot, though, a win against that Carolina team puts them at 61%. So Tampa Bay's trending in the right direction there, especially if the Falcons were to lose to the Chargers there. Now we'd be looking at what, two teams at 6-6. And I know that the Falcons, they beat Tampa Bay once already this year, correct? But they haven't played a
Yes,
second time, right? So, or have they?
I don't
they
think they.
have it.
They haven't? All right. So there it is. There it is. And let's see. I see what you put there, 80s. I'm sorry, old man. I see what you put there about the wife paying the bills there.
Am I lying though? Come on, now we all know.
Oh man.
Happy. Don't remember happy wife, happy life.
That's right. All right. So just scrolling down here, look towards the bottom. Here you've
Woo.
got, I mean, look at all these teams just playing just to cash a check at this point. That's what these guys are playing for. I mean, you've got 49ers there. They're at 10% if they lose. They're currently at 15%. With a win, it bumps them up to 27%. But let's be real, they're banged up. These are the injuries that they used to have like more than 2 years ago. Remember, 49ers used to always be hurt, although they did manage to, still win back in the days. But I'm talking about the Jimmy Garoppolo led 49ers, where injuries were a common theme. Jimmy G would get hurt. You would have, the tight end, he'd get hurt as well. Everybody would get hurt. Debo's still getting hurt these days, in and out the lineup and stuff. But the 49ers,
Debo might be gone. Like if you know it's a hit, sorry to cut you off, but a
mhm.
lot of people, a lot of rumors in 49er country, Debo probably get traded.
Yeah, he out of there.
I mean, you got to do something to free up that salary cap because you committed to give yourself a chance this
And
year,
you gotta pay that
and it ain't
quarterback.
working. I bet they wish they would have held off on paying Brandon Ayuk. I bet they wish they would have. Cause my man took that check, let the ink dry, and he played a couple games, didn't do anything while he was playing. Got locked down every single week, and then he had one decent game, bam, hurt. I'm done.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm done. So there it is. All right, let's see. You look at the Bears 4-7. I mean, but one could have anticipated though, looking at you guys' division early in the season when it was a lot more closer, someone was going to have to fall off, and they were the best candidate to fall off. And that's exactly what has happened at 4-7 there. It's not really so much all their fault there. It's just a tough division. But quite frankly, it seems to be some stuff going on internally where some guys don't believe in each other, to put it nicely. So they can't wait to get to the off season there for sure. The fact that my
DJ
man
Moore.
Keenan, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, I don't think he's thrilled. He's only had what, one game with only with over 50
Oh,
receiving
he's leaving.
yards.
That he's leaving. He's
Damn.
gone.
So
But
he found a way to
if
mess
you
up
watch
Keenan.
Allen, dude, he can't separate like he used to.
hmm So I tell you what, though, then you've got the Titans here at 13, Patriots here, Cowboys. All of these teams, they're just thinking draft. That's all they're thinking about. Draft.
Yeah.
Who are we bringing back? Evaluating who's coming back, who's still fighting hard. Got the Raiders down here at 2-9. Giants. I mean, everybody's trying to tank once that number one spot. And I
Oh
know the
yeah.
Raiders, they wanted a quarterback last year. They really wanted to get Jaden Daniels there because AP knew from, past relationships, he knew about Jaden Daniels there. But this year, I'm pretty sure if they can get their hands on a Shador or a Cam Ward, that's what they're going to look to
Shador.
try to do. So, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. But if you're Carolina, though, would you want to bring back, like, let's assume your job obviously is on the line here. Do you want to bring back Bryce Young for another season as the starter next year? Now ask
Shit,
that to Zoe.
shit. I would. I'd rather draft me a quarterback, man. Did be year what? Year number 3 in his rookie deal, and
Hmm.
we ain't get shit accomplished. I'd rather draft another quarterback.
Okay, okay. Now let's assume, based upon where things are standing right now, because obviously that would mean that the Raiders and the Giants, they're going probably most likely they both go quarterback. So you eliminate Cam Ward, you eliminate Shador Sanders. So at where they're going to be picking from, just based upon how things are looking right now without any trades. So that means, is there any quarterback remaining from what you've seen in college football that you would personally want to take in that top five? Because we've seen this story many a times where you
Yeah,
draft the third best quarterback, and many times it does not work out.
yeah. I like that Texas quarterback. And
Okay,
like I don't, it's gonna be some. Like I like that Texas quarterback,
Quinn
but at
Ewers.
the end of the day, though, you got to put weapons around your quarterback, though.
And that's another reason why you could focus on the weapons here and just give Bryce another year. Could take that path.
I seen enough out of Bryce, though. I ain't gonna lie. I seen enough.
You've
I'm
seen more
straight.
than enough. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
And plus, they're gonna
All
have
right.
money in free agency though for next year.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh
you
yeah.
can you can get you some low end wide receivers, running backs, then
Oh
play
yeah.
in the NFL draft.
Oh yeah. Hey, you go ahead, spend that money, and then bring in some good players. You won't get the elite players, and they're not going there.
No,
They're not going there. But
no,
you get a
They
couple
need
decent
defense.
starters. You
yeah,
know.
Panthers' biggest issue is wide receiver one, defense,
yeah.
then quarterback.
You can find that in the draft if you know how to draft right.
Right. So absolutely, absolutely.
Then, like I
Okay,
said, you can trade Bryce Young. Like shit, the Rams need a quarterback of the future.
that's true.
Shit, the New Orleans Saints need a quarterback.
Yep, that
So you
is
know,
true.
shit, I'd rather trade his ass. I seen enough. He probably won't
Oh,
leave anyway.
he said he wants to leave anyways, huh?
Hell yeah.
All right, let me go ahead and yes, Samuel, I got you coming up here in a second. I'm gonna go ahead and comment on that here. Just get JB a solid minute, and I will comment on that. All right, well, let's go back up here to the playoff picture. All right, so of all these teams that you're seeing right now on this particular screen here, who do you see as a team that you may have been impressed with them early on, but now you're really having some questions about this team? And I'll scroll up a little bit more so we can get the Falcons in that conversation as well. But who's the most suspect of all the teams that you see up there right now, in your opinion?
Shit, me.
Falcons.
All right, hold on. Okay, so old man said Falcons. So who did you say?
I say Commanders.
Okay, okay. I
And
will say in the NFC, I'm leaning towards the Falcons because when you came into this season for Atlanta, one of the biggest things that was supposed to make us believe and stuff, aside from, obviously they invested heavily in the quarterback financially and, another year for by John Robinson, but it was supposed to be the defense, the moves that they made on defense. They went and got a Matthew Judon and stuff like that. They made some moves there on the defense to where they were supposed to be good, but they look horrible, horrible. They got torched by a rookie quarterback like they were nothing. They got smoked after basically calling him out, saying, "We know all about Bo Nix. They said the man stayed in school forever.
yeah, I
They said that
seen
he
that.
stayed in school and
Do they
forever."
let
So
Bo Nix look like Peyton Manning out there? Come on, be real with it.
yeah, Peyton with legs.
Falcons, you Falcons owner, you should be ashamed of yourself, dude. And I'm not glazing or nothing. If Bill Belichick was doing had this defense would be top 10 because how he would have handled it. They do what the hell they want. Hey, Sudan, how you like it down there? Thanks for the top 100 pick, by the way.
Hmm. Exactly.
And my
Exactly.
AFC team is the Houston Texans. I have no idea. In the zone called this. When Diggs went down, he called this, and I'm giving him all his props. He said they're in trouble, and you could tell Houston's in a whole lot of trouble.
They are. They are.
I'll
Yeah, I was
give
gonna say.
Enzo 100% correct. You were right, my dude. You were right.
Yeah. CJ Stroud, like I don't know. It like he done had a major setback. It like his ass can't read the fucking field no more.
He looks like Suster Fields out there, and that's bad.
Yeah, he do look bad out there.
So yeah, so those are what I say. Houston, when it comes to the AFC, NFC Falcons, there. I'm not going to say the Commanders, despite that ugly loss that they had to the Cowboys there, because rookie quarterback, new coach there, and they win a lot of the games where, how can I put it? They most of the time they find a way to win those games where they're supposed to win. Obviously, they didn't do that last week there, but I'm thinking it's more so the injuries and stuff adding up. And the Cowboys, it's just a division game. Sometimes that's going to happen there, but the Falcons, I feel like worse case than where the Commanders are in terms of, like, if you were to ask me between the two teams who has a better chance at making the playoffs, I would say the Commanders, even though it'd be a wild card. But the Falcons, Tampa Bay, they're coming for that division. They're coming for that
Uh,
division.
See,
So
I can understand why somebody would say Commanders because not only that, they did they beat the Bills on a Hail Mary play when the Bills corner went stupid and started celebrate when the game was still on the line. They could easily lost two more games, two three more games. So
yeah,
they could.
and plus, Clint Kingsbury, his offense already get figured out the second half of the season.
Hmm.
They offense ran out of gas.
their offense is throw it to Scary Terry, which I love by the way. Keep doing it. Keep feeding them.
Yeah,
Keep
but
feeding them.
They need a number two receiver
yeah,
badly,
oh yeah, oh
badly,
yeah,
like
but
badly.
I
That would
wouldn't be
That's
help.
why
surprised.
I'm shocked they didn't trade for Brandon Ayuk to be real with them. Jaden
They wanted
Daniels and
to.
him are boys and everything. Even though Brandon Ayuk's hurt, I
Brandon
thought
Ayuk,
he was going there.
Brandon Ayuk. Who the fuck he play
So
for?
49ers.
49ers.
Oh yeah, that's right, that's right, that's right,
He's
that's
the
right.
one that turned down Patriots offering $32 million per
Yeah,
year.
I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's for them. That's like top priority next season. Get you a receiver
Yeah,
too, because
They also got paid Scary Terry, don't forget.
hmm yep, absolutely. All right. So, but this is the standings here. So, but yeah, this is where we are right now, and a couple teams are looking to clinch their division this upcoming week. I know I mentioned Buffalo earlier. Trying to
I
see.
think KC does
Let's go
too.
ahead and look at. All right. So looking at the divisions. All right. So AFC East, you look at Buffalo, 9-2. I mean, Miami's trying to make it respectable there, but Buffalo's running away with it. 3-0 in the division, 5-0 at home, 4-2 in the road. And then AFC North, obviously right now it's looking like the Steelers and the Ravens here, but Cincinnati wants to say even if they don't win it, they can make life a lot difficult. I feel like they can really be that X factor to determine who's going to win between the Steelers and the Ravens there. Because Cincinnati, they fought hard against the Ravens both times there. They just fell up short there, but they might can still, as you mentioned, the Steelers. That's very possible that they can do that. They have the talent to do it, and they're playing much better than they were earlier in the season. And then Cleveland, well, what can I say? When the weather gets bad and you got Nick Chubb, you got a chance. They shown that there against the Steelers there, so you got a chance there. Let's see, but in the division, Steelers are 1-1, so they haven't played as many division games. Ravens 2-2, Bengals 1-2. It's the Browns, the only team in the division with like a winning record in the division. So how about that? Two of their three wins in the division. So interesting. All right, AFC South. Houston up on Indianapolis, and they already swept them, I believe, this series. They are 3-1 in the division. So taking care of business in the division. Indianapolis at 1-3. That's not a good look in the division there to be 1-3. And in their last 5 games, they are 1-4 in their last 5 games. So what have you done for me lately? They have not done a lot lately. Henceforth, another reason why I gave New England a chance in that matchup there.
They
Um,
play their Sags twice in the end of the season.
who does?
Jacksonville.
Jack, like who plays Jacksonville? Indianapolis or
No,
Houston?
they play Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee does. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, wow. And so, well, right. Oh man, look at that. 0-6 in the division right there for Jacksonville. That's just you're giving out wins left and right. All right, and then AFC West. Kansas City at the top, but that middle. Like these two teams, they're playing pretty good football as well. And so, absolutely, so you've got the Chiefs 5-0 at home, 3-0 in the division. 4-1 in their last five. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they've lost all their last five, like on a 7-game lose streak. 0-4 in the
They
division.
taken.
They're getting the belt applied to them, old school style. Like every day they step out there on the field. You got your coach saying you're the worst team in the league and stuff like that. It's like, bro, like
He getting fired. There's gonna
you
be a
know
lot
that.
of coaching. There's gonna be a lot of coaching opportunities open.
Hmm. That's right, and that's going to start the begin. It's going to be the beginning of the fall for the Detroit Lions because they're about to lose both of their coordinators. I feel like
Oh yeah.
offensive and defensive coordinators. You won't see it probably that so much that first year. They'll still put together maybe a wild card type season, but 2 years down the road, that's going to be a lot there. And teams who have seen what happens when you sustain success and you lose both coordinators that fast, it's
Eagles,
really hard
Right.
to keep that up there. So they better lock in this year because if it don't happen this year,
49ers.
it's about to go down. Exactly. Like sure you can promote some people, but at some point what got you there, it tends to drop. Like when Ben Johnson came back, that was huge for Detroit because it kept stability and it helped that offense that helped Jared Goff look good. And how many times out the NFL we see guys at quarterback that they have tremendous seasons up under a certain coordinator, but when he's gone, they're back to average. They're back to a little bit less than what they were when they had that coordinator. So when Ben Johnson finds another home, and he will this offseason,
Oh yeah.
we'll see what they look like moving forward. We will. All right, so let's go ahead and move forward here to the NFC. So looking at the NFC, you got in the NFC East, the Eagles at 9-2. They're 5-1 on the road, 4-1 at home, 3-0 in the division there, 6-2 in the conference, 7-game win streak. I mean, they're just out here. Saquon is putting in work. He's putting in work as of late, taking over. The biggest thing is gonna be Devontae Smith. Can they ever get him going? Because it's been a disappointing year for him. It's been a
He's been getting
disappointing year for
upset
him.
too.
And at
If you
some
notice him
point,
on the
yeah,
on the sideline, he's upset, and his name is drawing rumors that he might get traded.
because the man thought he had the bag. The first couple years, what he did, he was thinking, I'm getting closer to getting that bag. And then this year comes, and then all of a sudden, that bag may not be as lofty anymore.
No,
So
because
he's like, save me.
It's Saquon and AJ.
Hmm.
But I
I'm
will
telling
say this: Smith, when AJ is out, Smith did have his opportunity to step up, and he didn't take it.
you. So absolutely. And then you've got the Commanders, in which, hey, at this point, however they finish the season, JB's not going to complain about the Commanders because they came in here. Nobody had expectations for the Commanders this year. Nobody did. But they came in here, found themselves a quarterback here. They're competing. So, absolutely. Let's see. Breezy says, who y'all talking about? AJ Brown. And so, yep, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. Well, we're talking about Devontae Smith specifically about, his play as of late specifically. So Devontae Smith. Let's see, and then the Giants and abysmal 2-9 Cowboys. What about you know what? What about the fact that your boy Jerry Jones threw out just the scenario to where it's possible that he could extend Mike McCarthy?
Doesn't
I was
shock me.
like, I was like, wait, what?
I could
Doesn't
believe
shock
that.
anybody for will though. How many times I gotta tell people? Jerry Jones want yes men around him. That's why he kept 8-8,
Jason
eight
Garrett.
and eight, chasing Garrett. That's why he's
That's
keeping
right.
Mike around. He wants it all to be about him. He's the CM. He's the brain of the outfit. All about him. He has his radio every Monday where he talks so glory about, oh, we still American team. Pippin, you ain't won in how long? In decades. Stop calling yourself American team.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, now scrolling down, you've got the Lions and Vikings, Packers and Bears in the NFC North here. And so you look at that, the first three here, one, two, three, when it comes to the losses there. In the division, Detroit 2-0, Vikings 2-1, Packers 1-2, Bears 0-2. And again, if you're the Bears, I just thought about that. You know, the Bears, they got their hearts broken against Minnesota. They got their hearts broken against Green Bay. They've been getting their hearts broken in the division. So that's
Yeah,
that's that's been wild. But they've lost their last five. And so they yeah, real bad. But Detroit 5-0 last five, and both the Vikings and Packers 4-1 in their last five games there. So goes to show. Now in conference play, Bears are the only team with a losing record in the conference, 2-4, while everybody else, you know, Packers 4-3, Vikings 4-2, Lions 6-1. All right, NFC South. So the Falcons trying to hold on here at 6-5. What they have going for them though is that they are 4-1 in the division. So that goes a long way when it comes to tiebreakers and stuff. You're 4-1 in the division, whereas Tampa Bay, they're 1-2 in the division. Saints are 2-3, and Carolina's 1-2. Meanwhile, last five games, none of these teams have a winning record in the last five games, quite frankly. So nobody is doing amazing in this division as of late. Like you guys remember Zoe at the beginning of the season where the Saints started off 2-0 and there were people
oh
talking
yeah,
as if the Saints had a resurgent with Derek Carr. Man, how times have changed. But ultimately, Buccaneers, Falcons, someone's got to step up and win this division. Somebody has to. Because I remember that dreadful year where in the NFC West, y'all remember that year where I think the
79
Seahawks got in at 7-9 that year, and that
beast
started a
mode.
wide debate where everybody was just like, "How can that be? A team with a losing record shouldn't play at home in the first week there." But that's right, that's the same year that Beast Mode he became legendary that year.
Yeah,
Absolutely. All right, so NFC West, as I alluded to, got the Seahawks here 6-5, Cardinals 6-5, got the Rams at 5-6, 49ers at 5-6. So all of these teams here within a game, essentially, of
that's
each other.
crazy.
hmm And then what's even crazier is you look at them at home, you know, like 3-3 for the Rams, 3-3 for the 49ers, 3-4 for the Seahawks. Only the Cardinals are really above 500 at home at 4-2. And then you flip that to the road. Seahawks have been road warriors. They're 3-1 on the road. Everybody else 2-3 on the road. But conference play, all of them 3 wins. And then Seahawks and Cardinals 4 losses, Rams and 49ers 5 losses there. So wow. But the last five games, Cardinals 4-1 in their last five games. Seahawks 3-2. It lets you know where they're trending. 49ers are the only one with a losing record in the last five games. Their injuries are taking a toll, and I expect that to continue to be the theme where they eventually will continue to just drop because it's just too many injuries. At some point, it's just too much to overcome. And man, the schedule's not nice to them with the injuries that they have on top of that. So could be tough luck for them. Rams can't seem to string together too many consecutive wins there. It may come down to Cardinals and Seahawks for this one, but we'll see. Plenty of football left to be played. So, but with that being said, we will open it up, you know, for anybody that has any questions that you have here in the chat that you want to direct, you know, to all of us, any of us, let us know now in the chat. And again, Samuel, you should see that I did comment on the community post. You should see that already. But yeah, and so while we wait to see if anybody's got any questions, I mean, as we're where we are right now for college football, obviously rivalry week coming up, guys. You know, this is a huge week here. Any upsets that we see coming in rivalry week? Zoe, I already know which one you about to say though. I already know what you're gonna say. So we'll bypass that one. No need to say that one there. But any
hmm
other upsets that you guys see?
That's the only one I could think of. For
What about
real.
you, old man?
I don't blame. I was about to say Michigan and New Buckeyes, man. I told you I have no faith. I
I
have
don't
no
like.
faith
I don't
today.
trust our quarterback, man.
I don't trust him or Day. I can't wait till both of them are gone.
It won't be pretty, but Ohio State will win now, especially at Ohio State too. But if we're going off of upsets, I do have some other candidates this week that I could potentially see upsets happening for. The first one that comes to mind when I think of an upset is Auburn versus Alabama. Last year, Jalen Milroe pulled off a fantastic play. I get that. But right now, Bama's not peaking. And Auburn coming off an impressive win. They're feeling good right now. They really are. This isn't the same Bama team of old here. And I know what it means down there to the people in Alabama, down there in Auburn, this game right here. So I believe that they are going to give Alabama a challenge. And I can see Auburn pulling off an upset against Alabama this upcoming weekend. I could totally see that being the case. So that's my most likely upset. Another potential upset I could see potentially would be Syracuse versus Miami. And that's because for as many yards as Cam Ward's going to throw for, and he's going to throw for more than 400, Miami's going to score probably 38 points. But I think Syracuse is going to be able to put up some points with them. It's going to be a back and forth scoring type of thing. It's just going to come down to, having the ball late. And if Miami gets off to a little bit of a slow start, that would give Syracuse an opportunity to where I feel like Syracuse could potentially upset Miami down there because Miami's susceptible to these types of teams that can air it out like that. So I'm going to say those are perhaps my top two teams for upsets potentially this upcoming week, in my humble opinion. So let's see. Here goes the question there. Abrita says, y'all believe in Oregon being number one? And so that's a great question there. Great question. So, Zoe, we got to ask you first here, of course. Do you believe in Oregon being number one?
Shit, as they record shows, shit, they is probably one of the best team in the country for real. They ain't played nobody all like that though, but they ain't lose to nobody. So I would say, yeah, if it wasn't Oregon, who else would be number one?
I will say I do believe that right here, right now, I got to say Oregon is number one. Obviously, they beat my team, so no excuses there. So they are where they are at number one, for a reason. Now, have they always played like that? Not necessarily, but I feel like if it's a big game against a big opponent, they play up to that. But as you can see, last couple of weeks, Wisconsin almost beat them. I think was it somebody else before that played them really close. So they have those games where if you put them, lull them to sleep to where they're not too thrilled about the opponent, they can be beat, but they will get up for the big games and they will do stuff like we saw that onside kick against Ohio State. They will do coaching things to give themselves a great opportunity. Whereas other teams, we're looking at our coach like, bruh, what are we doing? Make some adjustments. Their coach will make adjustments and give them an opportunity. So, I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't be number one.
Y'all believe in Georgia Bulldog being? Man, I don't know what Sam you're talking about.
Sam said, do we believe that Georgia will be number one? I
What
don't.
year?
I don't. Because they've already shown that they, can lose. But are they one of the best teams in the country? I still believe that they're one of the best. But to be number one, I don't think so.
Nah, they're not even top two.
And so, and again, when I say one of the best, I probably
They
narrowing it
probably
down to
top
like the top
five.
four,
Yeah,
like
they
top
probably top
four.
five.
Yeah. So, do they have a legit chance though? Is what like I feel like they have a legit chance. All they need is just Carson Beck to get on a little bit of a tier, just for, temporarily, because when it comes down to winning, it's about who's playing their best football right now. So if he's playing his best football, it certainly does elevate them. But they're somewhere, in my top four, like probably at four. But that's about it. That's as high as JB's willing to go for them right now. Let's see. A Breezy says only because yeah, they haven't played a lot of good competition. Some would say. And so, well, let's have this conversation because this is one of the things that I've seen on Twitter, going back and forth there. Some people are saying that the SEC is being penalized because they play each other and they lose a lot of games, in which I do hear that. And if you were to tell me, like for example, Alabama, like if they lost to Georgia, they lost to Texas. I'm saying, for example, if these were the teams that they lost to, I would agree with that. But if I look and I see that you lost to Vandy or something like that, and or either a team like Kentucky about beat you, then I feel like if you have multiple losses and some of those losses are teams on that level, then there's not much I can say for you there. Whereas if both of those losses were against, like highly ranked, the topper tier of the SEC is what I'm saying, then I can understand that. But that's been a debate. But how do you guys feel about that? So, we'll start. We'll let you go next in terms of just like, how do you feel when they start comparing like the SEC, teams with multiple losses versus a team like a Big Ten? Because I feel like both are right. Both are right. Because Indiana. I said it before the game. Indiana hadn't played nobody, so Indiana's got no case in my opinion. Like, yes, they'll get in because they had a great season. They definitely are one of the 12 best, but are they one of the top 5 teams there? No. It was just fool's gold because they didn't play anybody. I'm all for that. But there are some legitimate teams, like I feel like in Oregon, I feel like in Ohio State, to where they are legitimate in their standings there. But a 3-loss Alabama team, like how many losses is it enough before we stop ignoring the fact that you're in the SEC? But
Right.
anyway, so old man, your thoughts?
I mean, I understand where both sides are coming from. I look at this way. Yeah, they make their schedule, but if you really want to show that you're a better team or that you deserve to be in the thing, they'll win your games. Straight up. Go in
Exactly.
there and punch them in the mouth and say, you know what, you might be better than us. Guess what? We're going to come in and we're going to punch you in the mouth and we're going to beat you. And then we're going to laugh on our way and like, haha, you win, but we not, but we beat you. At least if you beat them, you have proof and you have evidence to show other teams and other colleges, hey, stuff needs to change, this rule needs to change. But until that happens, it's gonna be the way it is.
Yep.
More teams have to be more aggressive, and more teams have to say, you know what, we tell you how this is. We're gonna come in and we're gonna win. Just so you have to change the rule.
Right.
Okay, Zoe, your thoughts?
Man, shit. Don't lose. That's my only. Don't lose. I'm tired of people. People cry about everything.
That's
That my
true.
whole thing is, man. Don't pile too many losses up, man.
That's true. That's true. At the end of the day,
Don't
we're trying
pile
to
too
get
many
Why?
the.
losses up.
Life's not fair. Football's not fair. Get over it, cause you know what?
Right.
After football, you're gonna have to be a man or a woman, and you're gonna have to get a normal job, and it's not fair either.
Yeah.
That's true.
Right, man. Beat them fucking teams.
Go
Hey,
out
beat
with
it.
the blaze of going. Like if you're gonna lose, don't quit. Keep fighting and show them, hey, you know
Shit.
what? Maybe we need to change the rules around. It happened before. It can always happen again.
You good, Zoe?
Hell no, my back fucking hurt. I gotta get the fuck out of here, JB, dude.
Oh man,
This
certainly understand
motherfucker
that.
back.
Hey, if you got to drop, you can go ahead and drop. If you got to drop, you know,
Uh,
absolutely.
All right, good look. I see y'all next week. All right, old
All
man.
right. Yeah,
No problem,
appreciate you
JB.
coming through.
I hope you feel better than Zone.
Yeah, Zoe,
So I
for real.
appreciate it.
Yeah, you take care.
All right, see y'all. All right, chat.
All right. Let's see. Hey, Regis says, who we got winning the Heisman? John T. Hunter or someone else? And so, Owen, I'll defer to you to go first in
I
terms of
got
who we
Hunt.
got winning the Heisman.
I got Hunter winning it, and I understand about the running back. He's doing good and everything, getting yards, getting touchdowns. But Hunter's out here playing both sides at a top level. You gotta give it to Hunter.
Okay, okay. I actually switched again. Last week I switched to Hunter. Now I'm back to Genty out there. Because me personally, just looking at what he's doing, from a numbers perspective there, I mean, Hunter's great. He's doing great there. But I just feel like if we compare Genty to other Heisman Trophy winning running backs and stuff, like his numbers is like legit. It really is. And Hunter's best case is the fact that he plays, multiple positions, which is great. He does it at a high level, but I mean, he'll get his reward for that, going to the next level. He certainly will. But for me, Genty gets the Heisman, in my humble opinion, for this one. And again, I know I swapped from last week there, but I thought about it long and
Hey,
hard. So
every week is gonna change. You can
it
change
is.
your pick every week if you have. I'll say this though. I believe he's only like 100 or 150 yards up for breaking
Yeah,
rushing yard. And he's like, he got maybe, I think it's like 3 or 4, and he's tied for second or first touchdowns. The dude's a freak. Here's
exactly.
the
And I
bad thing though. You're using up your body during college before you go to the NFL.
That's true. But most NFL systems there, they'll have multiple running backs, to where it'll balance out. Because you could say the same thing about Derrick Henry when he was at the collegiate level, even in high school. Like you seen the numbers that Derrick Henry was putting up in high school, like it's crazy. It's crazy. It is crazy. Let's see.
I
Breezy
have
says
Cowboys
better
taking him.
broski. And so you got the Cowboys. I feel like the Cowboys are going to do some cowboy type things to where they'll have an opportunity and then they'll turn on them. Because how many times have we seen throughout the history of the Cowboys where they have an opportunity to go out there and get someone that'd be the perfect fit for them? I know this is going a while back there, but a guy like a Randy Moss in the draft, you get someone who really wants to go there and stuff. You tell them you're going to take them, then what? You pass on them. So I could see them making a mistake of passing on, despite the fact that they really, really, really do need to
Oh
take
yeah.
him. So, absolutely. Let's see. Barbara says, still here, fellas, playing Madden with the Vikings. You're out there causing somebody to cry on the other end of that Madden, I see, huh?
Yeah.
Don't beat them too bad. And let's see. Samuel says, I'm out here and good. Have a great night. All right. Yeah. Appreciate you coming through, Samuel. Have a happy Thanksgiving, Samuel. Always appreciate you coming through, man. Take care. And hey, save some food for everybody else tomorrow. All right. Save some food for everybody else. Let's see. Breezy says, see ya, Samuel, and happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, we'll be wrapping up here very shortly as well. And Samuel says, you got to wake up early tomorrow at 8 a.m. and make that full drive and travel and go get some food at Golden Corral. Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. That sounds real good. Real good. Do enjoy it, Samuel. Do enjoy it. Let's see. Breezy says, y'all think he gonna be generational back like Henry and AP, or is it the lack of good competition that he's played? That's a great question, and of course, Ode, I'll let you go ahead and answer that one first before JB give my thoughts here.
It depends on what team he goes. If he goes to Cowboys, I think he could be on the same a level below them. I don't think he'll be Henry. I don't think we're gonna see another King Henry for a long time. He is old school. If you go back and
Mhm.
look, he is original running back. He is a third down running back, even sometimes fourth. He's you give it to him 99% of the time. The backups don't come in most of the time. AP was a different animal now. AP wasn't out
Mhm.
there getting hit like Henry is. AP's out there cutting, zuking.
Oh
He was
yeah,
breaking people's ankles,
he was. He
catching the
was.
ball. AP was all around running back. I don't think he's on that level. But I
As
think
far, yeah.
if he goes to the right team, I could see him being a uh, top 10 running back rookie year, and then getting good at being the top 5. But he'll never be on that level.
Oh man, like it is so hard because I remember the year after Adrian Peterson was drafted, the following year, and I one of the biggest mistakes in my evaluation. I thought that Darren McFadden was going to be legendary because I looked at his game, I looked at Adrian Peterson, I thought I saw a lot of similarities with that one, although it's a little different there. But I thought that Darren McFadden was going to come in and like be that next guy that following year. That did not happen. I feel like I personally, and I know that this probably most likely will not happen, but if he's going to be generational, it's going to be because one team specifically drafted him, and that team is not the Cowboys, in my opinion. That team is the Vikings. If they were to take an interest in him and want to add him there, I feel like they would be able to put it together long term to where teams
Ooh.
got to make a decision between, are we going to try to stop JJ in the pass game or Genty in the backfield. I could see him developing into that generational type of talent there, because I do feel like right now where the Vikings are with the pieces that they have and what I expect them to do moving forward there, that would just be a downright out like type of thing to where Minnesota would be that top team in the NFC continuously for like 5, I'll just say 5 years, just to put it more realistically, they can expect 5 years they'll be competing at an extremely high level, in which they'll
They
already
also
be doing
need a
it
run
now,
game.
but that would be like, whoo,
They
like,
also need a running back too.
so
Can you
that would be a
imagine?
sneaky play.
Now, can you imagine? I know it won't happen. It'd probably be overkill, but can you imagine if the Ravens took him?
Oh man, yeah, that would be overkill there. You got to deal with Henry, and then don't they still have that
Hey,
other running back who's been hurt like most of the season? I forget his name, but he had some big games last year because he got some speed to him. I forget his
who
name.
better who better learn from though than King
That's true.
Henry himself?
That's true. That's true.
And you could save King Henry a little bit. He ain't out there taking 30 snaps. You know what? You
Hmm.
let the young buck do it, and then when they goal line, you tell the young buck, "Hey, listen, you gotta pay your dues." King Henry go in for the touchdowns.
Hey, well, you know what though? That reminds me of what the Rams did back in the day when uh, when they had Marshall Falk and they transitioned from Marshall Falk to Steven Jackson in the backfield, like kind of like that handoff in the backfield where you had your legendary running back of the old, and then you sprinkled in, that big power back that came in there. Because when he was at his peak down there at the Rams, he was something serious as well. And we also seen that with the Chiefs back when they had, guys like a Priest Holmes, and they transitioned to a Larry Johnson, and then they kept that train going, so that you may be onto something. You may be onto something. And let's see. Breezy says, "Who's a running back y'all enjoyed watching play?" And so, this is a fun one here. Just purely who we enjoyed watching: Reggie Bush, Ricky Williams, Sean Alexander, Curtis Martin. And so, of course, Owen, I'll let you take the first crack here. These are some good options.
Give me the Bush man. Give me Reggie Bush.
And
That
so,
man used to take ankles. When they talking about you get your
oh yeah.
ankles broke, they talking about Reggie Bush out there breaking your ankles. I
Hmm.
hated when he was on Buffalo, but when he was on Buffalo, I watched him do some nasty work to New England.
Oh
Even
yeah.
Big Vince Wilfork said the hardest running back he went against when he was going against Buffalo was Reggie Bush.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
he said that he even said one time, he's like, "You think you have him and everything?" And next thing you know, he does a spin or he does a half spin and he cut and he's gone.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. I would say if we were talking like at USC, definitely Reggie Bush would have been that answer there if we are talking college. But at the NFL, for me, because every time I think Reggie Bush, I can't help but think about that hit that Brian Dawkins laid on him. That was just that was nasty. That was
Well, that,
nasty.
that ain't
Uh,
his fault, no.
I know
They
it's not his fault,
they
but
set him up to get
it,
hit. Come on now,
that
Brian,
would be
you
something.
that
I
was
would
the
change my
most
position in high
stupidest play.
school.
Come on now,
I would change
you
my position in high school at that point. Like, put me at receiver. Like, let's not do that again.
you see Brian Dawkins head hunting and you gonna leave? No, that was a stupid play.
Yeah, Brian Dawkins was him though. He was him. I would say though, my like of these options here, I would say probably Ricky Williams, just because growing up in Florida, and so the impact that Ricky had at that time, like it was huge, and it was also fun to see him carrying that team as well. So I would say Ricky Williams there. But you mentioned a ton of good running backs there. I mean, Curtis Martin when he was at the Jets, probably my favorite running back to ever play for the Jets, and the Jets are the team that I despise the most in our division. But when they had Curtis Martin, when they had Chad Pennington, Santana Moss, and when they had Herm Edwards, that was the only Jets team that I did not necessarily hate at that time, because they were pretty fun to watch. So, but yeah. And then you mentioned Thomason with the Chargers as well. So, oh yeah, LaDainian Tomlinson, what he was doing on a regular basis
The
there,
bus.
man, it was downright dirty. Oh, you remember that time where the Patriots knocked out the Chargers after their tremendous regular season, and Rodney Harrison and company were out there mocking LaDainian Tomlinson celebration? No, it wasn't LaDainian Thompson. It was um what's his name? That linebacker, Marion, Sean Marion. I think that was his name. Steroid guy.
Yeah, I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah. So absolutely. But yeah, Tomlinson, he was exciting. Him, Larry Johnson, guys like that, they were really fun to watch.
The
Steven
bus was
Jackson.
fun.
Oh yeah, Jerome Bettis.
He
Yes.
was fun. Hey, You might people might not like because it's old school, but I liked when Lil Garrett Blunt was with New England too.
Oh, I love that. Loved it. And I still say to this day, that's one time I was looking at Bill like, Bill, he led the league in
Oh,
rushing touchdowns.
I
Why you
was
asking for a
dude,
discount for
I
next
was
year?
pissed. I said we could have went back to back to back with
We
Blunt, man.
really
What are
would have.
we doing? What are we doing? And think
We really
about it.
would have.
In that super, and for most of that season, Blunt really
Hmm.
didn't do all that with the Eagles until the playoffs, and that's when he started taking off.
Yep, absolutely.
Then he came home and he won. We could have three-peated that fucking time, but Blunt left because of Bill.
And then
Over two
Tiki
over
Barber.
Blunt said it was over $2 million. That's all he wanted. He wanted $2 more million, and said, "Hey, think about it. I'd be good in the playoffs. We repeat, and who knows, we could triple peat." And Bill's like, "No, we fine."
Yeah, it's just, oh man, because like that was one time I didn't like that, and it's always that way when we had that true power back, and by true power back, him and Corey Dillon, because the end of Corey Dillon time in New England, I felt like that time where Indianapolis came back and beat us because we threw the ball to what's his face with the big eyes who dropped that wide open pass in the fourth quarter. That we ended up losing the year before we acquired Randy Moss and Wes Welker and stuff like that. But what was his name? From the University of Florida, Rashay Cardwell. Rashay Cardwell, that was his name. Um,
Oh, he had those beady eyes, those big
yes,
old
oh, those big old eyes, and he couldn't see the
like a
ball.
deer in the
Exactly.
headlight. When your eyes get real big, like when you're a little kid, and you get caught stealing a
Yes,
line. Your eyes get like, oh snap!
yes.
My hand got caught on the cookie side 24/7.
Yes, and as big as those eyes were, he still couldn't catch that one pass that Brady threw to him on a quick pass because Indianapolis cornerback was not lined up. So we had snapped it. A first down would have iced it for us against them. He dropped the pass, and Indianapolis ended up beating us. I was upset for two reasons. One, we didn't run Corey Dillon enough, in which we should have, because we were up 21, what was it, 21-6 at halftime and stuff like that. We didn't run Corey Dillon
Yeah,
enough for some reason. And then he just dropped that wide open by himself pass and a situation where we needed to have it. And so against Peyton Manning and company that year. So that was a heartbreaker. So absolutely. But yes, Tinky Barber, you know, that was a good time there for the Giants, him because they had Kerry Collins, in which Kerry Collins, what he did during his time at Tennessee, when they remember that time with Tennessee, CJ2K and all like that. And then he took the job from Vince Young. Like they were balling.
yeah.
They were a fun team to watch that year, you know.
I like Spiller's another one from the
Spiller.
Eagles.
Yep.
Little man, he was good.
Oh yeah, if we're talking small backs and stuff, like remember Darren Sproles? Like
Oh
Darren
yeah,
Sproles, his
Foles.
time with the Chargers, Saints, Eagles. It really says, man, all those great running backs you missed the 2000s. And so I do
Danny
miss the
Woodhead.
importance that they had, back then at the running back position where they had a lot more weight. Teams paid them a lot more respect. Like it was big news when you guys remember where we used to see in the top five where the second overall pick, a team like the Dolphins had drafted Ronnie Brown. And then at the fourth overall pick, they'll take a Cadillac Williams because running backs were valued a lot back then. They understand, and they would be out there, for pretty much most of the game. You really wouldn't see too much of the backup because the starter would be in most of the time. I do miss those days. I do. Just being able to have those running backs that were just legendary.
That's what
You
I'm
know,
saying. The really the only one is left is King Henry, and you could say Saquon and maybe CMC to a point.
yeah, when he's healthy. Yep.
He's healthy. Other than that,
That's basically it. That's basically it. As I
it's like
try to think,
it's a dying breed. Like after King Henry retires, there's not gonna be like old school running backs no more. They, I'm talking about where they get 80% of the time, 90% of the time. They're
hmm
not gonna. It ain't gonna happen no more.
that's right. That's right. And you know what? I have to say, our Patriots started that. They started that, and the reason we started it was simply because Bill did not want to pay that kind of money for running backs, so he would just sprinkle it in and then get, like remember those years where we used to have those what was those sorry running backs like Sean Vereen and stuff like that, who was
Oh,
the other guy? Stephen Ridley. We used to have some terrible running backs during that time period. That's when Bill was just playing around in that backfield just to
'Cause
be cheap.
he had Brady.
And so true,
Like
he
you
he did, but
you could blame Bill on that, but when you got the good greatest quarterback out there making it work with picking people off the street, you get cocky.
hmm well, ultimately it caught up to him. It caught up to him good. Let's see. Brazy says, "You guys think we'll see another non-quarterback MVP winner soon, or will it keep being a quarterback award for a while?" I mean, Saquon's the best bet we got.
I'm
You
about to
know,
say
Saquon, yeah,
If Barkley don't win this year, it's the quarterback. Cause
well,
CMC should have won it. What last a year ago or a year before
hmm
that? To me, CMC should have won, and if he wasn't winning, and if Barkley don't win this year, they ain't giving it to nobody's level quarterback.
yeah. I think Barkley gets it because as the weather continues to get colder around the league and teams have to run the ball more, obviously the Eagles are continuing to utilize him because their faith in their passing game is continuing to dwindle down and stuff. So that's tough. That's tough. And let's see. A Breezy says you're seeing that Josh Allen is leading the odds right now. And so, I mean, Josh Allen certainly would be a candidate there, especially he had that big win there against Kansas City. And he's doing it. What helps him is that he's having success without Stephon Diggs. So we can't just say, oh, look, he's got Stephon Diggs. It's like we see what you're like without Stephon Diggs now. Sure, they did go out there and get Amari Cooper. But what has Cooper done so far? And even if Cooper gets going, we're at the point where we've seen enough of Josh Allen without it to where it can help. Because you can always say for someone like, a Derrick Henry, he's got Lamar, and for Lamar, he's got a Derrick Henry. They can cancel each other out. Saquon, I mean, Jalen Hurts isn't really doing too much passing wise. That's obvious. So Saquon's got a strong point. So if you want to say it's Saquon versus Josh Allen, it could be that. But between, Allen, Lamar, and Saquon, if I'm casting the vote right now, it's Saquon because what he's doing is just nasty work. Yet literally out here hurdling people backwards. I mean, come on now. We got to get the man the Heisman there. Show him some love there, like we did AP when he came back from his knee injury, and we gave him the love over Peyton Manning and company, that year. So,
If Saquon breaks the record and they don't give it to him or come near to it, you
mhm,
nobody's winning it. Then you're never gonna get this chance again. Like you
absolutely.
said, this is the best chance since AP for a running back, other than CMC, to have a shot. And if they don't give it to Saquon this year, no running back's ever gonna win it.
That's right. Let's see. A Breezy says, "Oh yeah, as Patriot fans, how do you feel about Pat Mahomes climbing the GOAT convo from media? You think he can catch Brady by the end of his career?" Oh man, we got to go with you first on this one here.
See, the media I can't stand because it took Brady winning five, and even at that time, people were saying he's still not the GOAT. They want to crown Mahomes so fast. My thing is, if Mahomes three peats and then he wins again, so four peats, I can't argue. You could call him the GOAT. At the end of the day, I think Mahomes get to six, maybe seven Super Bowls. I think Brady will have the record, like the yards and stuff.
Hmm
It'll be like MJ and MJ versus LeBron. I got MJ as the GOAT, LeBron second. Somebody else will have LeBron as the GOAT, and you really can't argue.
That's true. That's true. I can certainly see Mahomes getting to enough Super Bowls, but actually, winning as much as Brady, that's really tough to do. That's really tough to do. But in my opinion, there, I mean, how do I feel about it? It's like Old said, at first it was mildly annoying at first. It was, but at the end of the day, is it certainly possible that he can? He's legitimately the only person that would have a chance at even, being considered for that, that's currently playing right now. Because you're first of all, when Brady was early in his career, he had his best receiver was like Troy Brown, Deion Branch. They were good receivers, but they wasn't elite receivers. He didn't get anybody elite until Randy Moss into the picture. and stuff like that. Not just for a couple seasons. Even when he had Randy Moss, he didn't get Super Bowls with Randy Moss. Like he didn't win Super Bowls with Randy Moss. So
Mhm.
all his wins came without having that. Whereas Patrick Mahomes, you had a Travis Kelsey throughout all of your career. Early on, you had a Tyreek Hill. You have a great offensive coach. So, that does help. That does help because even before him, you had and Alex Smith that was having success with Kansas City and stuff like that. So I want to see me personally. I want to see are they going to give him the same doubt that I seen that Brady had to overcome throughout his career, where people
They
used to
won't.
say that Manning was better early on because Manning had the numbers early on because Manning was throwing to Marvin Harrison, Hall of Famer, Reggie Wayne, Hall of Famer, your Dallas Clarks of the world, your Brandon Stokley's of the world, the offensive line Hall of Famers is too. Jeff Saturday, Terry Glenn. They had Hall of Famers across the board for Peyton Manning throughout most of his career in Indianapolis. But yet people turned their head to all the talent he had, and they thought for a good portion that he was better than Brady. They used to say that Brady was a system quarterback. It's funny how that narrative changed because he went to Tampa Bay, and had he not gone to Tampa Bay, they just would have labeled him a system quarterback for life, probably. Some people. So,
Yeah. I
but
at the end of the day, I look at this way. Tom Brady after he won the Super Bowl against
mhm,
KC, he walked in the KC locker room and talked to two people. He talked to Patrick Mahomes and he talked to Andrew Reid. And for word, what Brady told Patrick Mahomes is, "You're the next one up. The NFL's in your hand. Take care of it, kid." That's all I need to know.
yep.
The goat said he's the next man up. That's you can't argue.
Exactly. Yeah, there's no argument about that. No argument
It's
about
the
that.
same way. It's the same way. Larry Bird and Magic said about MJ. They hand the keys over. Tom Brady did the same thing.
That's right. That's right. Because years from now, things get forgotten when history, becomes older. So in the future, will someone say Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT? I can see that, because now we're playing what 18, I'm sorry, 17 game seasons, whereas for most of Brady's career, it was 16 before we increased that. Defensive rules have changed a lot. Like they protect the quarterbacks for the most part, unless you're Shador Sanders, apparently. But they protect everybody else to where you're not running into the guy's legs and stuff. So you can feel a lot more confident. There are certain things that Patrick Mahomes does that I noticed that, in the old football, that wouldn't work. Like that thing he does when he runs near the sideline, like he's about to go out of bounds, but then he cuts it upfield and picks up extra yards, and defenders are confused. If you hit him, you get a penalty. If you don't, he gets the extra yards. That stuff wouldn't fly if we were
Oh
back
no,
around,
he would have got
early
hit.
2000s. He wouldn't be doing that stuff because yeah, like, but it's a different game now, and that's what it's supposed to be. But it's a different game. Defenses aren't allowed to do what they did because back then, when Brady was early in his career, such a thing as having a Ray Lewis and an Ed Reed, that was a thing. Those guys, your Chris
Toy,
McAllister's out there, so the Ravens team, you had to deal with that. Troy Polamalu, also down there with the Steelers. Back then,
Brian
defenses got
from the
after it.
Chicago Bears.
Hmm.
People
Brian
forget
Urlacher.
Brady went round and round with a couple of the greatest defenses in NFL history now.
Hmm.
Legion of Boom, that Ravens defense. Brian Urlacher on the Bills defense. Like he went getting some defense now.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. And then the situations that they entered, where I mentioned and again, this isn't to take nothing away from Patrick Mahomes because what he's been doing is incredible because Andy Reid's been good before, but, Donovan McNabb, he couldn't win one with Donovan McNabb. Alex Smith was just good enough to get him to the playoffs. So Patrick Mahomes did elevate them, in his greatness to be able to, do that. And I feel like it was a perfect match between them two in all honesty. Now, am I willing to say that if Patrick Mahomes was drafted by the Raiders, he would have had that same type of career and stuff
No.
like that? Like, probably not. Probably not. Like, it wouldn't have been that
It's a
way.
match made in heaven. So like Belichick and Brady. This is the closest thing, and I hate to say this is the closest thing anybody could say to the Patriots dynasty is KC.
Yep, absolutely. Now, part of me, I can understand how the 72 Dolphins felt when they saw that the Patriots went to the Super Bowl as undefeated, and then they saw that the Patriots lost. I'm kind of holding my breath like that with Kansas City about them not getting a three-peat. I'm like, don't let them do that. Don't let them do that. So let's see. It really says the Redskins defensive back then was nasty too. And so absolutely. Absolutely. Those were some good times. Some good times, good times where it was fun to see, like, heck, I can even say, the Raiders back then. Remember when they had a Charles Woodson, Wad Woodson, and stuff like that? Then you had, even Nadine Asamoah was on the team as like the third, fourth corner during the earlier years there, and they had a solid defense. You remember that time where the Raiders picked up Warren Sapp, Ted Washington, all those guys on defense?
All
Now,
the OG.
yes, like
Cause
that
they
wasn't
got
fair.
cause they got what's his name? Gruden as the head coach. So he just started taking all the oldies from the Buccaneers that he
Yep,
won the Super Bowl with.
exactly. Buccaneers defense back then too, because Brad Johnson was able to win with that type of defense they had.
Ooh.
Brad Johnson.
Back then,
It's
defenses could head hunt. They could hunt. Now you really can't.
And heck, we can't forget about the Ravens and their, Super Bowl in the 2000s, like that
Saints
defense they had.
with Saints with their defense literally head hunting, literally trying to take QBs out the game.
Literally. Literally. Let's see. Everybody said even the Pro Bowls back then was great to watch. Now you can't watch it. Absolutely, because back then guys competed. Because that's what you did. You went out there. You might have had anger issues, so you can just go out there and just hit somebody. You know, that's what you did, and it was expected. There was a certain thing where you expect to go out there. Because why? Because you're a competitor. You're an athlete. And there's always somebody coming for your job. But now everybody's like, ah, I don't want to play. Even at the collegiate level, oh, we don't get to go to the college football playoffs. All right, I'm done. Let me start preparing for the NFL and stuff like that. That's one thing that I really, really dislike about, college football and where it's gone. If there's one thing that I had to nitpick on, it's the fact that you have players that lose interest. What happened to I have pride in my school? I got pride in myself. I want to finish this for the guys around me, and then coaches, like just letting this be okay, when you're evaluating rather than being like, what, I want guys that's going to finish. You've already showed me what happens if we're having a down season. You're going to quit on me and stuff like that, like
That's
you
why I
rather
love
focus.
Prime.
So yeah,
That's why I
so
love Prime Time. Prime Time as a head coach. He is
hmm
old school with it to a point. You got Sap out there being old school. You got old school minds, and people
yep.
forget. Even back in the '90s, people used to say this: you could kill somebody and get away with it as long as you were in the lines in the NFL field. You
hmm
could kill somebody and be perfectly fine. And believe me, go watch some of these wide receivers going over the middle now, or running, or quarterbacks running around. You ain't doing it back then. Go over the middle when you got Ray Lewis. Have
Ooh,
fun.
yes.
You ain't doing that again. You wait.
Hey, you remember that time where Chad Johnson tried to block Ray Lewis on a, what was it,
Ooh,
like an extra point play, and like
yeah.
he got a mad. He got a
He's
mad
like
because he got hit.
he's like I ran into Ray. What the hell?
Told the coaches I didn't realize it was Ray.
All I know is Ray met his match against Grunt. Grunt wasn't afraid.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Gronk likes that contact. Absolutely. But just having those matchups where you knew twice a year we were going to get to see a Steelers with a Jerome Bettis versus a Ray Lewis, that got you excited. Terrell Suggs as well. Those guys, Big Ben and company, and
And
remember
what's
Willie
crazy is
Willie
Bus used to
Parker.
run towards him. He
hmm
wasn't running away from him. He used to run towards him and tell him, "Come hit
Yep.
me."
hmm Can't forget legendary guys like Eddie George and stuff like that. When he was with the Titans, him and the late Steve McNair. Those guys, Derek Mason. You know, let's see. A Breezy says, "Do y'all understand the new NFL and college football?" You say, "As much as I miss the old days, and even it was more exciting to watch, I can somewhat see why they started changing stuff to make it safer." And so I can understand it. I can understand it. The same reason why you see players right now running out there with Guardian caps. And as a fan of that, a fan of the sport, it's like I don't necessarily like how it looks, but at the same time, I understand it because every now, because imagine, oh man, imagine this. Okay, we're back to 2005, specifically 2005, but the Dolphins quarterback is the current Tua Tagovailoa. Imagine that. Do you know how many concussions this man would have if we were going
He
back to
wouldn't.
those
He wouldn't
days?
be playing. He wouldn't be playing. He'll be. And
Not at
I don't
all.
mean it. I don't mean it. No disrespect and no nothing. If Tua was back in the day, 2005, easily, he would have been out of the NFL. He would probably be mentally challenged. How many comas he would have had,
I
concussions.
mean,
He would be so messed up in the head.
because imagine the Dolphins playing a team like the Redskins. So you got Sean Taylor back then going off the edge on a blitz, and Tua doesn't see it coming, and he just lays
And
them
you
out.
you could pick back then. You could pick up a quarterback and slam him. You could lay your weight down
Mhm.
on him.
Yes. Yes.
Mahomes, I'd say that now Mahomes playing the way he does, he wouldn't have lasted long either.
He'd have to change. He'd have to change his game. He'd have to adapt and become more of a Favre with a little bit more mobility, honestly, if that was the case. But hey, you continue to evolve the game. That's the job of a commissioner is to continue
My
to
only
evolve the game. Yeah, go ahead.
my only fear with them doing that is pretty soon they already doing the flag football and the Pro Bowl. Pretty soon it's gonna be flag football and two-hand touch soon. Maybe in 20, 30 years, but give it time. It's gonna be bad.
Let's see. Breezy says for players, even if the ratings are lower than back then, and so yeah, it's for the players and all like that. But as much as we want to say that the NFL is doing it for the kindness of their heart, they're just trying to protect themselves from the lawsuits that's going to come from retired
They trying
players.
to protect
So
themselves. They want more money, bigger plays like the Hail Mary
yep,
that Shane Dan Scary Terry. They've
yes,
been playing that. They've been playing that all over everywhere, and
hmm
that means more money for the NFL.
exactly,
At the
exactly.
end of
So
the day, NFL only cares about themselves, and the NFL are all 32 owners. They only care about themselves and their money. At the end of the
that's
day,
proof. That's proof. Because if they wanted what was best for the people, then Jerry Jones would sit down and let somebody else do it. But nah, Jerry's like that's never gonna happen. Never gonna happen.
that's why when people get mad at Adele for being like saying, "Oh, he sucks in this," okay, do you guys understand though? He has 32 bosses. He's
hmm
not. He can't walk in there and tell the owners, "No, you're not doing this," because he works for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. Reezy says if they start doing flag football into the actual games, that might be the end of the league as we know it. And so they say all good things come to an end.
Hey, everything.
So
Look, pro wrestling changes into entertainment, and
mhm.
all everything changes for more entertainment and more exciting. Think about Mahomes throwing the ball. It's flag football. All these fast receivers. It's that they want to basically turn it to Madden.
Basically, basically, absolutely. But yeah, so absolutely. But JB's gonna go ahead and wrap things up on this end here as JB does gotta get ready to dip here. But
About to
thank you
say you
so
might not
much.
be streaming tomorrow if we keep you any later.
You already know. You already know. But nah, JB should be good there, Thanksgiving. So definitely, I highly doubt that I would miss a Thanksgiving matchup there. But that being said, though, if we were on too late, it runs the risk, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
yes, but thank you guys so much for coming through. Barbara says, "Great show, fellas. Appreciate that, and appreciate you
Thank you
coming
for
through,
coming through,
guys."
and y'all have a great Thanksgiving.
Yep. Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. Be sure to enjoy it. Spend time with family, friends. Enjoy the food. This is the one time where doctors can't tell you, hey, you might not want to eat that. No, we can start the
It's
day after. But make sure you guys
that's
have your
right.
gym. Make sure you guys have your gym memberships ready for the following week, though. We will have to make up for this this tomorrow what we're about to do. So keep that in mind. And so yeah, Barbara says happy Thanksgiving to y'all. And so appreciate that. Yeah, and happy Thanksgiving to you as well. And so JB's about to end it now, but thanks again and see you guys next time. And oh man, real quick, let them know where they can follow you at if they're not already on
I'm.
Twitter.
You can follow me on Twitter. It's all capital, no space. The old man mob, same pitch and everything. Everybody's welcome, other than those stinking Bills fans.
You heard it here on JB and them Sports Fanatic. And thank you guys again for coming through. Have a great Thanksgiving and see you guys next time. Take care.